Justin, you ready, guy? Joe, you ready, kid?
Yeah.
Jeff, you ready, guy?
Hell yeah.
When are we on?
You're on now, bro.
Are we?
Fucking amateurs.
Well, yeah, what an intro that was. Let's see.
Anticlimactic.
Here's the point of the whole intro thing is to give us some time to post the feed. But for some reason, it's not working today, so here's what I'm going to do.
You can't share it?
I can share it now, but,
All right.
but it just sucks because we're on the air rather than the nice jingle. And
No. You know what? This isn't network TV. We do what the fuck we want.
I thought I did hear the jingle. Did you play it at all?
I did not.
Hey, Jeff's got a mic.
Whoa.
And Justin, hey, since we left you guys last, here's what we did equipment-wise. We got new mic for Justin. Sounds good. Woo. We got another new mic for Jeff. We can hear Jeff. And then we also got a new mixer.
Yep. That was the issue. The issue was that we didn't have enough good mic ports where everyone sounded great. Justin would always sound like crap, and then we couldn't even include Jeff.
Sucked.
So we ended up getting one with extra mics, and now we can have guests on easily.
Slowly but surely, guys. This is really coming together.
And not to get everyone excited, but we almost got the phone situation hooked up.
Very close.
To the point where we can now take callers pretty easily.
We're like 90%
We got to do
done.
some tweaking, and then we'll get it figured out. But
nice.
Welcome to the Whatever Bro podcast.
Yes.
Okay, we're back.
Welcome.
After a long break. I think the last show we did was probably like before Christmas.
Yes.
Maybe a week or two before Christmas.
This is great. I like that we have sounding mics. I like that you have. Where'd you get that wine glass? So gay.
This is your wine glass.
I know.
I actually think mine is real crystal.
Yours is, it says definitely from.
And I'm fine with that.
From the Himalayan mountains.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think he got it in Peru.
These
he made it himself with a glass maker.
These are definitely Cindy's wine glasses.
Not mine. My mother came over. She knows I don't have wine glasses. She wanted to drink wine. She brought wine glass, left it, and now you guys get to drink out of it.
Exactly. Now, I like to tell people the Whatever Bro podcast isn't just talking about penises and vaginas and bad dates.
It's not. I'm out of here. Fuck you guys.
It's very educational, so that's why at the beginning of every episode, I'm going to do a Whatever Bro fact of the day.
I like it.
Okay? I'd like in the future a goofy jingle along with it, but I didn't have enough time today because I have one of those goddamn full-time jobs.
You do?
That disables me from doing such
Loser.
things.
Loser.
Yeah, loser. Man.
Whatever Bro fact of the day, koala bears have chlamydia.
Oh, I've heard this.
Chlamydia has devastated nearly every known koala population. In northern Australia, more than 20% of koalas have chlamydia, with many more harboring the infection. Researchers have been largely unable to fight the spread of this disease, as koalas need to receive antibiotics from wildlife, but that sure as shit doesn't happen. Nobody's going in the woods and being like, we got to take care of all this chlamydia. You know, it's bad enough this camera's on me.
Listen, well, what's funny about that is you do know like a shitload of koala bears are dying right now in those fires.
Yeah,
right?
which is, it's kind of good for getting rid of all that chlamydia.
First,
I was going to say, first of all, that's barely a fun fact.
Hey, he's back. He's back.
Nice.
And what qualifications do you have?
Oh my god! Oh my
to
god!
bring that up?
he's on
back?
fire. Not Jeff, the poor koala bear.
Yo, he's back with a vengeance.
You know,
man.
it's unfair because first it burned when they peed because of the chlamydia, and then they just burned because they were on fire. Because
I feel like
there goes all our animal.
Pete is going to be on us, and then this will get banned from Facebook
We only
by
got
tomorrow.
5 fans, and they all like animals, so they're gone now. Great job.
But no, R.I.P. koalas.
Yeah.
And also, without getting too sappy, Kobe, big sports athlete in our time. Like I was talking to you the other day, like everybody obviously knows Jordan was the greatest. Everyone pretty much agrees with that. But Jordan only came around in '84. We were still little babies when he came
We're
up.
like on the cusp. We were Jordan babies, but then like a lot of people 5 years younger than us are Kobe babies. Where they're like, oh, I heard about
Kobe's
Jordan.
the one guy he was our entire lifetime. Well, for the most part. He came out of high school. So I just remember so much shit with Kobe, like him bringing Brandy to the prom.
Yeah.
And,
oh, my God. I forgot about that.
Him being in the dunk contest. So he was probably more of a part of what we watched every day than Jordan was.
Yeah,
Jordan wasn't around till the 90s.
We were little
'90s.
kids. When he was, I think he was even 88. He was playing, and we were like 4 years old. Now
he was drafted in '84. We were literally just born.
You know, when I heard the news, which was like I was driving, I was like, one, it's awful, and second, I was like, Justin must have like 10 jokes already lined up.
No.
Like, that's the way his brain works. When I explain you to people, by the way, who don't know you, I'm like, Justin's the kind of guy who like he's got the joke in his head before you can even feel funny about something. So
Yeah.
if you bring like a national tragedy, I feel like Justin's
I
already
don't-
got. You're not like that.
I don't have any Kobe.
No, but
jokes.
I'm saying normal situation.
Yes, black humor.
Oh,
It not,
dark.
I don't mean his race either. I just mean like dark
Yeah.
humor.
Yeah.
It's right up my alley.
You always have it lined up quick too. I noticed that. Whereas like I will hear something with Justin, Sam with Justin, I'll hear something, and my immediate reaction, because I'm a good human being, is, oh man, that sucks.
Oh, man,
and
rough.
Justin's just like got like 5 in the chamber, just ready to let
Yeah,
loose.
we try to explain to people like how you are, and all they think of is, oh, this guy must be fucking terrible.
what a sick fuck.
He's missing
Right?
the most obvious one, and I'm not going to say it, but Michael Jordan was in Space Jam. I Believe I Can Fly.
Oh.
All right,
Yeah.
Jeff.
All right,
Hey,
no, we're
listen,
gonna-
That went down.
Why don't you stick to just
All right,
fucking with
I'll
koala
push the
bears?
button.
That
the
went
po- the
down
point
faster
of
than
this-
Kobe's helicopter.
The point of this was to pay respects to the man.
Yeah.
He was the man.
I was commenting on Justin's black
See,
humor.
this is
What?
the first time with
Dark-
a mic.
let's say dark
Look
humor.
At the
It
shit
sounds
he's
less-
saying.
I'm regretting getting these mics. You kept the receipt?
Don't don't listen to him, Kobe.
Hey, well, I will say this in seriousness, because obviously we're not going to go into a whole Kobe thing.
I want to go into. I got a Kobe
Okay.
beef.
All right, so
I
let-
think
no pun
we do.
intended.
I think
all right,
we
all right,
do.
cool. So let me just say real quick how I was driving back from a date, actually, I was on. And I was coming back, and they were talking about Kobe on the radio, and they were like, I was like, oh, why are they talking about Kobe right now? I'm like looking at the time, like, oh, they must got inducted to the Hall of Fame or something.
Yeah.
And then my boy Ryan Paul texted me, and it said, dude, Kobe's dead. And then I put it together, and I'm not gonna lie, that fucked me up for a good like 24 hours. I was really.
It was one of those you're not prepared for.
No,
You
it got me.
That's like saying Jordan died, or
It
that's
really
like
was.
saying any the last celebrity that died, where I was like, man, was Robin Williams. I was
That
like,
one
Mrs.
sucked.
Doubtfire
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
and
That was
such a
bummer.
great comedian. Where you're like,
That one hurt. Yep.
yeah,
That one hurt.
What's crazy is like if he were just a mediocre comedian, like we'd be okay with
There
it
was
because he wasn't
something-
so mainstream.
And there was something lovable about
Not
that
okay
guy,
with it,
though.
but-
You know what I'm saying? He was a. There was something about Rob Williams that was just you see him on screen, you just like, I like this guy, and then
He was the genie, for Christ's sake.
had a shit.
He was
all-
part
That's
of
what
our
you guys are talking
childhood.
About. Yeah, exactly. The childhood you
Yeah.
have a reverence.
You grow up with them,
for
you're
Kobe. Again, like you
affected
said,
by
you
it.
guys were.
in a way you kind of grow up with these people that they don't know you from a hole in the wall, but you kind of know them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
your friends. And then the way he died, he just brutally.
yeah,
he
it was terrible.
He like what? He hung himself, and then he also OD'd on pills, and then he like
Yeah.
it was like a triple suicide.
You know
Yeah.
that there was. I'm sure you heard the podcast with Bobcat. On Rogan.
Rogan.
Well, basically, there was in a long story
Bobcat
short.
Goldthwait.
Yes, that's right. There was something wrong with. They did an autopsy, and there was something wrong with his brain. He had
I
some
think it was
kind of disease, but not-
Alzheimer's, I believe.
It wasn't Alzheimer's. But it was like a form of it.
It was a form of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the
So
name
he
of
had
it.
some shit going on, and he was bipolar throughout his career, I believe.
Yeah.
But the Kobe thing, man, it just fucked me. And like, I never was like a huge Kobe fan. I liked Kobe, but it was because we grew up watching
Yeah.
him grow up, dude.
Exactly.
Right.
We watched him at 19 years old.
Yeah.
And
High
now
school.
he's 41, and to be honest with you, he was starting to do like really good things.
He won an Oscar.
He won a fucking Oscar. He was doing like big family shit. Like he was big into like, it fucking stunk.
He was
dude.
helping the children.
Yes.
He
Now
really
what's-
was.
What's your Kobe beef, by the way?
All right, here's my Kobe beef. It really has less to do with Kobe and more to do about how egomaniacal and disgusting people are.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
I know where
Because
you're going.
Already, yeah.
Kobe died, right? And not only did he die, which is a tragedy in itself,
A tragic death.
he died with his 13-year-old daughter
And other people.
other kids,
Families.
and other families, like kids,
It's like
basketball coaches,
9 people, right?
right?
Yeah.
And they were all like pillars of their community, all worked with children. And the helicopter, drops. They all die. They all explode. And then people on Facebook, it took them all of 10 minutes to take this tragedy and
Make it about them.
Make it 100% about them fucking selves. And these are people, and I'm not talking about people who were fans of Kobe, watched him in the NBA, saying like, oh, he was a great player, grew up with him, like you guys were just saying. I saw people that were like, oh yeah, Kobe died, which reminds me of when my grandmother passed away. And then, it's like, what the fuck are you talking
What
about?
do they have in common
Yeah, like,
besides the death?
There's no correlation there.
Yeah.
And then there was this, which is even grosser. People would just, I saw this 3 different times. People would just take selfies and just be like, rest in peace, Kobe, and then a selfie of their own stupid head.
I
And
can't
it's like,
believe that.
what do you...
Yeah.
What was the mean for that face?
No, it's just like they're a photo of them, and then like rest in peace, Kobe. Blah blah blah. I
What
remember
does it
you.
have to do with the person?
Because
Nothing.
They can get
Wow.
likes by mentioning something
Right.
topical that everybody's talking
Got you,
about.
got
That's
you,
exactly
And
right.
it's more dopamine for their brain for like, hey, look, people are liking
That
my
is
Precisely.
sick. Is sick.
So there's a tragedy that happens, and they're like, "Wait, I can score attention points off of this tragedy if I just like correlate myself to Kobe's death."
Yeah.
It's sick.
And it is disgusting.
You know
And
what-
there's too many people talking about it, and that drives me a little nuts. Like, obviously, he dies, everyone's going to talk about it, but it's the way in which they're talking about it. They're using it for their own good, just like you say.
They're glorifying
It's
it.
fucked
Glorifying
up.
it.
Like, I know when it happened, I didn't want to put a status up, to be honest. I didn't want to look at Facebook or even the news because it was just...
It's too much.
It was a yuck. Like you had said, you were like, dude, I watched for a couple hours. I'm like, nothing more I need to know. But I was putting a status up, and I kept deleting it. I'm like, and I just put one up because I needed to... But, like, I'm surprised at how I'm hurt by this. And I just was like, dude, this sucks. And my heart goes out to everybody in that chopper. It wasn't really just about Kobe either.
Yeah, it was just like a shout out. Like,
sucks.
Yep.
But like the thing where people use it for themselves, there's a lot of selfishness that goes on and instinctual thinking without like taking a minute and thinking. So their first instinct when they saw this was,
How can I use
how
this
can I
to
use
my
this?
advantage?
Yeah.
And they don't even know they're being
No,
that,
it's
that fucking
it's
selfish.
it's subconscious.
Subconscious selfish.
Yeah.
Yep. It's fucking sick, man.
Yep.
It is gross.
And then there's people posting about it that like they didn't even follow Kobe. I bet you there's nothing in his life or career that they can just come out with and say, "Oh, I remember when he did this." We at the very least like know he was in the slam dunk contest.
And let's
we
not
know
forget, Joe,
what dunks he did. Like,
Yeah, and you and I have been huge basketball fans and players.
Yeah.
I mean, I just quit a year and a half ago. You're still playing. So we played also. So that's why we cared about the game. We
Yeah.
kind of watched Kobe grow up a
That
little
was
bit.
a-
That's
it
why
was a
it hurt.
hobby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting here in a corner weeping, but I was really upset. I was like, dude, this sucks that this just fucking happened. Wow. And it's just like, I feel like I lost like some companion guy that I knew.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
yep.
And
So-
the second group of people that are equally gross with this whole Kobe thing is the ones that were like, yeah, have fun celebrating this rapist.
There you go. I knew that was going to happen.
And I
yeah.
was like, I didn't know much about the rape story, so I actually researched it, put on my detective cap.
Good. Can you give us?
Yes.
Let's let people know. And
Yeah,
stop
why don't
banging
you
on the
scooch
table
in a little
because
bit
it
and,
screws up the mic. It
Great.
screws up the mics.
All right, so
Huh?
this
man.
this was,
Moving just a tad.
Because we're doing that thing and we
Bring-
start drifting. There we go.
let's bring
We-
it
we-
together.
we
for this-
actually
this
backed up
rape
the camera.
investigation,
Back up
huh?
no, we backed up the camera, so
Oh,
you don't
no,
have to be that
space.
close.
All right.
That's good.
So people were like, "Oh yeah, go ahead and like glamorize this rapist. He deserved to die." Blah blah. I was like, "All right."
Knew that was going to happen.
And I was like, I didn't know anything about the case, so I did a little research.
Stop tapping
Oh,
on
so-
it. So every time you do that, it's bad for the show.
I'm sorry. That second one was Joe there.
That's our background drummer.
He's doing the rim shots. Yeah, I did some research on like the rape allegations, and they are sketchy.
Really?
So what happened was Kobe, he had to have knee surgery, right? So he checks in at this hotel.
This is what, maybe 15 years ago?
It was a while ago, a long
it's,
time ago.
2003, I believe.
Ooh, I nailed it.
So yeah, he checks into a hotel for knee surgery. There's a girl who works there. He's like 24, 25 at the time. She's 19. Gorgeous girl. She's 19 years old. And she's supposed to get off shift, right? This is the first red flag. She hears Kobe's coming, so she stays late to meet him. She stays, he meets up, and then she's like, "Oh, let me show you your hotel room." So she shows him the room. They start making out.
She's 19.
She's 19, but
Works
he's like 24.
But,
so
so she works at
she works at the
All right,
hotel.
all right, go ahead.
She stays late for him to come. She shows him the room, one-on-one. They start making out, which she admits later was consensual.
Okay.
She's like, we were making out. It was consensual. Then they ended up having sex. Now, this is where reports kind of diverge because she says it was forced. He says, like, I have no idea what she was talking about. It was totally consensual. But some follow-up points that are real sketchy was she goes in for the test, like the next day.
The rape test? Oh, the
rape
rape kit?
test. Yeah. And they test her, and they're like, oh, you have actually semen in your underwear.
Okay.
And so they test the semen, and everyone's like, Kobe, they have your semen's in the girl. You're done. Plot twist, it's not his it's not his
Yeah.
load.
Well, now,
it's not his
correct me.
jizz.
I don't know if this is the right case, but I think they found multiple different Siemens on her.
Well, I think
What's on the bra? Looks like a Mexican semen.
But that right there, I remember something like that.
Well, there was
and I
like-
remember
Me too.
thinking, Kobe just
He's
he
just
hooked up with her,
fucking her.
and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So there was.
And we don't know. Let's be honest. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Yet. No one does.
But yeah, that's the.
She
that's-
wanted money.
That's the thing.
and
okay.
they did settle, though, correct?
She settled out of court.
He settled out of court, too, though. He didn't want to say.
Yeah, but she pushed the civil case
Okay.
for $2.5 million.
Okay.
Her lawyers dropped the criminal case. Her
Gotcha.
own team dropped the criminal case because there's like
Yeah.
your case is spotty. You have like potentially multiple loads inside you, all from the same time period. So there was no case there. And then her Kobe, of course, gets like the best lawyers.
She's like,
possible.
no, wait, that guy raped me, too.
Yeah,
That raped me earlier.
And now she's in a civil case against him.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so further red flags. They get her college roommate, and she's like, "Oh yeah, she tried to kill herself twice, like right before this, over like an ex-boyfriend, trying to get an ex-boyfriend back."
Red Flag City.
Then cherry on top, they find out she is schizophrenic, and she's on.
And
So then you have
and Kobe's
the-
like, damn, I gotta stop fucking schizos, bro.
So
Right.
then you have those idiots coming
Yeah.
out and saying, like, one was the comedian Ari Shaffir,
Ooh, yeah. By the way, what
who's
you heard it, right?
I heard about this,
I
right?
saw that, and he does do that for every single dead celebrity. He just says something over the top, fucked
it's
up.
fucked up
But
for every
that's-
celebrity.
Yeah,
then.
but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
still a fucked up
It's
thing to do.
such a clout
just to be
chasing-
talked about because
Yeah.
he's still not going to be big after this. If anything, this might have ruined his career.
I think
and
so.
he wasn't that big to begin with. Like he was on podcasts and stuff, but he wasn't like. I wouldn't say he was an A-lister
No
by
way.
any means.
No way. He's a working comedian. He's been working for a while.
Yeah,
but never
He's
like
a well-known comedian in the
comedian
comedy world.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. There's a lot of people who don't like watch a lot of comedy, like Ari Shaffir or whatever. They'll be like,
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I never liked him anyway. But I just think forget Kobe. I know that he does that. Like, and if you're gonna do it, make sure the joke's kind of
yeah,
good.
it wasn't even.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a joke.
That's the problem.
It was
He
just
actually
like-
seemed like he was angry, and he was.
And he was laughing about it. Like,
Yeah, it was-
kind of.
If
And
you're
that
gonna-
was so fresh after it happened too.
Yeah, and that's by the way, that's an initial reaction of a person who's like, how can I get this to help myself? It really is. Like,
But it's sad because he's been in the business for so
You don't
long.
need to
you
do
would,
it.
You would think, that's
So
kind
I
of.
guess that's actually a really good point because I was going to ask you guys about that. Like another comedian, Anthony Jeselnik, does a lot of dark humor.
by the way, just to let you know, if Jeselnik would have said a joke, which I don't know if he did or not, I guarantee Anthony's would be. You'd be like, dude, that's fucked up. But God, that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
like
his
Anthony's.
at least
Well,
would be.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Where's the line for you guys?
Okay, the line for me personally is there really isn't a line. There's time.
time. You got to wait a little while.
So
In my opinion, there is time to where it's like, dude, shit is real. Let's hold
and then
on.
it would have to be like a clever joke.
Absolutely.
Not getting on camera and being like, "Oh, I'm so happy he died. He's a rapist." Like that's
Absolutely.
basically
Yeah,
what the video.
there was no punchline.
no.
There was nothing.
so for example, Anthony Jeselnik's the one that sprung to mind.
Has he
because-
said anything yet, by the way?
Not about that, but he said, remember back in the day when The Dark Knight came out with Heath Ledger as the Joker?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was The Dark Knight Rises, but the kid showed up in Colorado, I believe it was, and like thought he was the Joker.
He
and
shot up the theater.
Yep.
He went on. Anthony went on Twitter that night and went, "Okay, guys. Besides that, how was the rest of the movie?"
Yeah.
Okay, now listen. First of all, here you go. Now, I still don't agree with doing that. However,
Pretty
at
funny.
least you fucking nailed the joke.
Right.
Hilarious joke.
Right.
In my opinion, when it comes to something like that, you need to take time for people to settle in what just fucking
It's in
really.
bad. Like even Anthony Jeselnik's joke, it was in bad taste to begin with, but there. I don't even want to say it was a positive thing, but the only positive that came out of that was the cleverness of the
Awesome joke.
Is it too soon? Still, in my opinion, yeah. I personally would never attempt that
No.
so soon, unless it was like in private to Justin. Like, hey, what do you think of this?
Exactly.
What do you like? Can I tell this
Yeah.
a year from now, or
No,
a
you're
year
right.
and a half?
It's a tough one, man, because like that, I just heard him say that joke, and my first initial reaction was, "That's fucking funny."
Yeah.
But this just didn't just happen a day or two ago. Like there are certain emotions when shit goes bad where you're like, dude, I need to let me get through this first,
Yep.
and then let's joke about it. Let me deal with my feelings, and then put it to rest, and then we can. That's my opinion.
And now everyone wants Joe Rogan's take on it because he's good friends with Ari.
As
and,
do I.
And he had Ari on like not even a month ago, probably a couple
Weeks ago. Yep.
And he won't address it. And everyone in his comment section under his podcast is like, "Oh, he's turning this into having an MMA fighter on every day, so he doesn't have to talk
Yeah.
about Kobe or
He hasn't,
Or
and,
Ari.
and Rogan hasn't said. And newsflash, we're all Joe Rogan fans. If he hasn't said anything about Kobe or Ari yet, and I know it's coming at some point, but I just can't wait to hear.
yeah.
Ari did apologize though.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What-
And he did say like, "Hey, I didn't actually mean that." Every time a celebrity dies, when his friend Ralphie
But he
May,
said it out of such
He had to-
anger, though. It
yeah,
seemed
but
like was
he does that every time. Like
He
he just
also
goes
didn't-
over the top.
He didn't know there were kids or other families.
Yeah, he thought it was just Kobe. He didn't know there was kids in there.
And that's
it's-
one of the reasons why you don't do it so quick either.
Exactly. Wait.
The fuck is wrong
He
with
was
you?
just looking for this opportunity.
I will say that Tony Hinchcliffe had one.
He's great, too.
Immediately after the crash, and it was pretty funny.
No, I'm gonna laugh now
Yeah.
because it's been like 4 days. Joe, what do you think?
this was-
I think Hinchcliffe's funny, but he's kind of a dick.
All right,
No, I meant like about hearing this joke right
So
now.
Kobe was. I
is
don't
bad.
watch
This is bad.
basketball, but I'm assuming he was a bit of a ball hog. Right?
I don't condone this. Go on.
Kobe was a bit of a ball hog, right? Is that true? Like,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
not
yes.
confirming
so-
or
yeah.
denying.
Yeah,
so
he
the,
was.
So the joke was, Kobe passing, unbelievable, because he passed away.
Oh,
but
geez.
like he also, but the li-
I wish I had a soundboard. Wah, wah.
No, it's actually
that was
good.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Bro,
But-
the one thing I want badly is a soundboard right
yeah,
now.
and again, it's too soon for shit like that. Like,
But that's pretty innocent.
yeah, it is. It's just
It's like
it
didn't-
kind of makes you think like, dude, do you even fucking care that this happened?
No, he
kinda-
doesn't.
and that's what kind of bothers me.
But you know what? On the scale of like awful things, that's still way better in my book than taking a selfie.
Correct.
oh
and
yeah,
like,
no, big time.
R.I.P. Kobe. You know, when
And-
my turtle Sheldon died, I went through similar emotions.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
it's like, shut the fuck up about your turtle, you cunt.
I'd rather
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
a clever joke than
Yeah.
people making it about
No,
them.
you're right. That's a good point.
To tie it all together, and going back to Anthony Jeselnik, he
Yeah,
has
sorry.
a Netflix special called Thoughts and Prayers, and he talks about people that when something horrific happens,
Oh,
everybody's
interesting.
saying, "Oh, my thoughts and prayers." He goes, "What people are really saying is like, hey, someone think about me today." Like and
He's
he,
right.
He hits the, and what his point about making jokes like that is like, I'm a comedian. This is what I do. Even if people are in a bad mood, if it can make people laugh and take their minds off the event and more on whatever, like it helps people
So
cope.
here's and again I like Anthony Jeselnik. I think he's a good comic. My thing is though with that doesn't make me feel better right after. It actually makes me like, dude, do you like don't you hurt? I don't know. I
I
think
get-
it's the time.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's
You
my
need to.
opinion.
You need to wait.
I need time to like get over it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Before I can start joking about it, me personally.
Well, there's a lot of things you really still can't make fun of, but like the Lincoln assassination just recently became funny, which is a line from The Office. Okay, I'll go now.
And,
But,
and there's
I'm
Jeff.
trying to. You
There's
guys
Jeff.
were on pause. I was trying to do something
Wow.
add to it.
Hey,
Awkward
now-
silence.
How are the cameras looking? Good.
Camera's looking great. Justin still needs to move in a little.
Oh,
bit.
sorry.
It's almost as if
Right
you're
there.
drifting.
No,
Right there.
yeah, close enough.
We got
Um,
plenty of stuff to talk about too. This is
We do.
We got,
With the not to stay on Kobe, it's really not staying on
Fine.
the Kobe issue, but as far as precautions go, or even having a black box on a helicopter, like by this point in time with all the technology, you would think they would think of something that would prevent or help a crash, or like just an example not to do with the helicopter, 9/11. When you're that high on a building, why aren't there just parachutes readily available?
Like at the top of the building?
Yeah. No, like, or the higher floors. Like, so if there's a terrible fire, they at least have a fighting chance.
Or how about like a rope ladder,
anything,
right?
yeah. Like, exactly, rope ladder. Like that you could
It's so
suspend
interesting you
I don't
bring
know.
this up, dude, because at first people might hear you and be like, "Is he crazy?" I thought of this when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I never understood planes because I'm like, wait a minute. So hold on. The plane goes up in the air fucking 10 million feet, and you guys don't have a parachute for the plane. You have no ejection
Yeah.
seats. You have no parachutes. Now, when I got older, I realized financially that's not.
It's a lot of money.
I guess it's a lot of money. But as a kid.
Which is sad. That
but
money's
it
even
is.
a thought.
Because, dude, think about this. As a plane, that they're like, you know what? Because the amount of times a plane goes down is like, what, 0 point whatever?
Yeah.
But what about when it does? You're fucked. Like, I want to be in a situation, no matter what, where I actually have a chance.
Yep.
Like, dude, strap me with a parachute. Like, you bring the parachute up, I think it's a great idea. If I worked in a building that was that high, I'd want a parachute.
Yeah,
Straight
you,
up,
you would
dude.
have a fighting chance.
I'm a nervous wreck, and I'm
And
always
I-
thinking of the worst.
I even looked
I
up
don't think-
parachute prices. Okay, now if you buy a brand new parachute, it's a few thousand.
How about if you
But
compare it too, Joe? I'm with
There
you.
are used every day. There are used military parachutes you can buy for like $80 to $100.
Oh my
You're
God,
telling me
dude.
the World Trade Center can't afford to equip old military parachutes?
I'm with Joe on this. Justin, go because I know
No,
you're
I
fucking.
don't. I just don't think.
Tell me I don't make sense.
I don't.
Tell me.
I just don't
You
think
know
it's.
what? We're gonna be like this, right? While Justin's falling, like, where's
No.
you listen to us, huh?
I wanna hang-
$80 on Amazon.
No, I'm gonna have
dickhead.
I'm gonna have a hang glider. So I'll be
Justin's about
doing
to make
figure
an
eights in
impact.
between you guys. Now I was gonna say I think you need a certain distance to deploy a parachute properly, and I don't think a building is like.
No, I'm
tall
talking
enough.
about in New York. I'm sorry, a huge,
Yeah.
huge, you
A
know,
skyscraper.
50, yeah, 100,000 stories up, whatever. Like on the World Trade Center when they got hit by the, there's all these people hanging out the window about to. They're like, should I burn to death or jump head first, waving a white flag? Be cool if you had a fucking
Yeah.
parachute,
Jetpack.
dude. Yeah, no
Jetpack's
shit,
the move.
anything,
Yeah.
anything. But I'm
They,
saying,
they would at least have a chance. Like,
Right.
like if they're jumping off the building from a high enough point and they pull the parachute, there's a chance that
100%.
they could get out of
like
that.
the chopper thing. Like
Yeah.
I know why Kobe took the choppers because he was rich enough, and LA traffic is horrendous from what I hear. Like terrible
Yep.
to the point where you'd actually, if you can afford it, get a chopper.
Of course.
Why not throw some like in a chopper? Hey, Dave, just in case something happens, here's a fucking parachute.
Yep.
And we can eject. You know what I mean? Like
you-
something.
You know, Kawhi said Kobe and I occasionally shared the same pilot.
Oh, really?
And he was like that
sexually.
guy. He was like that guy. That guy flew me around. Like,
No shit.
In choppers before.
No, they still don't know any. It's probably gonna take a month. To
No,
figure
and
out
there's
what
no
happened.
black box.
There
So
isn't?
this has to be on either camera footage or
So
wreckage.
They didn't have a black box, huh? I thought.
No,
Maybe
and,
just for
and
major
that's what
aircraft.
the news. Some of the news brought that up. Like, shouldn't black boxes be mandatory
For
on
every
all
aircraft?
aircrafts?
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
if you have it on a like a huge whatever Boeing whatever.
Yeah. It's just interesting though that you brought that up because like sometimes I feel like when you're a kid you see things a little different because as an adult you look at all the other factors, but as a kid you kind of look at the simple fact of something like, oh man, like it'd be cool if I had a parachute on the whole plane.
Yeah.
Like the whole
Yes.
plane had one. You
The
know what I
whole
mean?
the roof. That's what I was thinking. The whole roof of a plane is
Just
a
pop-
giant parachute.
In
Yep.
case it starts going down, like say it nosedives.
And they could do that.
I definitely know they could.
Especially with a chopper. Now, with a chopper, it would be different because you have like
the
blades.
propellers, yeah.
But at the top of the center,
Yeah, what
top
about
of the
the
blade,
center? It
you
pops
could
out. Yep.
shoot out something.
Pops
You're
out-
telling me there's no technology today that would.
You know why they don't do it? Because they go to the big boys, right, at the office, and they say, "Well, this happens once every million times, so we don't have
We're
the
not
funds
gonna.
for
It's
it."
not feasible.
Man, fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not going in a chopper without a parachute. Straight up.
that's just fucked. But like the percentages of crashing are much greater with small aircrafts. I don't know if that includes choppers, but they say that it's you're statistically more likely to crash on a small aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if they mean planes.
I think if I had to guess, I would think because it happens more often because most of those people aren't like it's like a 757 is taken care of very well.
Yeah,
Whereas like those probably
you're not checking up on all
I
these.
used to be scared shit of flying, and I used to just like have to pop Valiums, and you know what I do now? I just accept my death.
Yeah.
I'm just like you have to be.
You have to
comfortable,
be that
You have to
way.
accept it, bro. You have to go.
I wouldn't say you have to accept death. You just have to do your best not to think about what's below you and
yeah.
what could happen.
So I have a tough time with that. So I just say to my and everybody's got their own ways. Some people just say I'm not gonna think about it. I think about it too much. So what I started doing was going. I accept it. Like sitting on this plane, I accept that if it goes down, I can do nothing, and I'm
Yeah.
ready to roll. If you know what I mean, like I just hate the control thing. Like I hate not knowing who the pilot is.
Oh, yeah,
like,
this-
I want to know him. I want to talk to him. Like, hey, have you been drinking today?
Yeah.
Are you thinking about killing yourself? Just wanted to make sure.
I'd like to
before-
meet him just
Yeah.
to make sure he's a decent guy.
Yeah, him or her. You know.
And when you hit like 20 minutes straight of turbulence,
Mm.
you're convinced.
Yeah,
well,
that's a tricky one.
this is it for me.
Yeah, man.
And I'll look around.
I always look around.
I've flown for my whole life. We used to go to Portugal every summer.
Yep.
And now, if you're traveling in the United States to another place in the United States, you at least have land under you where you can make an emergency landing. If you're over the Atlantic,
Like going to
going from
Azores?
Massachusetts to the Azores, there's no place to land. As a kid, I never thought about that. As an adult, I now think
Fuck.
there is no emergency precaution. We're going down.
Yep. And I know that the planes float, but right? They do, right?
Buoyancy.
I feel like
if it manages to,
well, you remember the one
to
in
not fall apart.
it's the movie Sully, like
yeah,
that
but
lady?
I don't think he was too far off the
Yeah,
ground.
he
when
literally
he,
had just taken off.
Right.
It seems
So
once
it's-
they get to a certain altitude, you're fucked.
smoked, yeah.
Like there's never a single survivor in these crashes.
They actually say the most dangerous parts of flying is the takeoff and the landing. Everything else
That's
is
right. That's where the most damage occurs, right?
correct. And I want to say, you guys were talking about, for a while, for about 4 years of my career doing what I do in marketing, I was flying almost every week.
That's right.
3 weeks out, and I was doing maybe like 3 different cities a week. So I was on airplanes
Were you
constantly.
did you hate it, love it? What was it?
Most of the time it was great. There was the only time I really got freaked out, and this is why I want to kind of throw it to you. I guess I think we were flying into JFK, and we were actually flying through in between the skyscrapers of New York City. So I'm in the back seat of this plane in the window, and I look out about 20
And
feet
you're like,
to my
is this
left.
plane going
I'm
into
seeing-
the World Trade
I
Center
was-
again?
Yeah, and the dude next to me saw me like I was like broke out. I turned very, very white. I was
And then
getting,
someone
like, sweaty.
screamed "Death to America."
This guy had a box cutter on the side of me. It was weird.
Right, I know. And then I jumped him, and I was a big hero. It was no, but no. The dude was like, he goes, I can tell you're a first time flyer like this. We goes, this is how all the flights
Made you feel
go
better.
through. Yeah, he's just like everybody goes through. They fly through the city.
It's interesting because, like,
Crazy.
you know, when you talked about, like, you've been on a lot of flights. I've been on a handful. There's been one or two times where turbulence was rough. And it's, for me, a very freaky thing. But the first thing I do is look around because I'm like, a lot of people fly more than me. And I look at it, it's like, if there's a good amount of people not freaking out, then I'm good.
Yep.
It's just that one time I don't
The
ever
more-
want to put up and everybody's like looking around. And I'm like, fuck, this is it.
Though I feel like the more people fly, in most cases, it's a business person. Turbulence, they're sleeping, and the plane's like,
They're used to it.
and they're just used to it because this happens. They travel all the time.
That shit is fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah, there have been a few times. To be honest, it's been either to or from Vegas. There was turbulence a few times, and like as shaky as I had ever been on a plane. But they get out of it. It's just the clouds.
Yeah.
They're trying to break
Yeah.
through.
When that fucking pilot's like,
And it freaks
"Hey,
you
we're
out
gonna
a
be
little."
experiencing a little bit of turbulence or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
He's saying that as he's putting his parachute on. Like, no, it's gonna be totally cool. A little bit of turbulence just out the
Little
the
turbulence coming, guys. No big deal.
And then like Denzel, you hear one of the guys say, "We're gonna roll it."
We're gonna roll it. Well, no, that was Flight.
And before you know
Awesome
it,
movie.
I'm flying upside down.
The movie was fucking awesome.
That was a drunk pilot, right?
Yeah, he was an alcoholic.
True
He was-
story.
Well, I think he was a functional alcoholic because when he was flying the plane, he seemed a little tired and sluggish, but he wasn't drunk just because
He was just an alcoholic in general.
Yeah.
But the movie, yeah. But it was a good movie, definitely. Can I switch gears?
Yeah.
There was something interesting. I
This will give me a chance to get more wine.
do it up, man. And listen, he's right there.
Oh, you are such a thoughtful guy.
What a beast. Don't even have to take your headphones off. There is I'm in the gym and I was having a conversation with somebody in the locker room. Now we've dealt with this as kids. Stop going away from
Sorry,
me.
man. I'm uncomfortable
want-
with
I think he might be a homophobe.
I started talking about I started talking
Well,
about
you push me away, then you bring me back, and you push me away. I don't know what to think
still in
anymore.
front. He's still in frame. We're good.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm having a talk. We've all had this growing up. We've all been to the Y. We've all been to the boys' club.
Oh, yeah.
We've
yeah,
all
I
been
like this
molested
topic.
at the YMCA.
Listen, so the problem, I wouldn't say problem, but the weird part about this is we always see, growing up and now, elderly men.
It's a culture of the time.
Powdering their balls.
Stop
Sorry.
banging on the
I wanted
table.
to make it. I needed to emphasize. Emphasize. These old men
Emphasis.
powdering their balls.
Yeah.
In the
So,
locker room.
Listen, I just need to explain it because a lot of women don't know this because they're not in the locker rooms. As a kid, there's a generational gap here in about, I'd say, men now 55 and up still. They go into the locker rooms, and for some reason, the entire time they're in there, they're pretty nude. And a guy just taking his clothes off to change is one thing, but most old men will have conversations with other men in there.
Naked, balls hanging out,
Naked
dicks hanging out.
And it's very strange for our culture. But we were trying to figure out why that is, number one.
First of all, not all of people our age don't do that. Like there are a lot of people I know my age that
do that?
either whatever high school they went to was all guys showering together, or gym was all guys
just
showering together.
jacking
I
each
know
other off.
several dudes who are completely comfortable with that. I think because we grew up a certain way, it's weird. But
Yeah.
for the time, I used to play pickup basketball, the one that I'm still in.
I know what you're talking about. And the guys,
And like not anymore, but guys used to all just run in the showers together and just shower. I was not. Call me self-conscious. I wasn't comfortable with.
I'm just not comfortable with it.
It's like I think I'm gonna wait till I get home.
Hey, bro, could you get my back? Do you remember the showers at Durfee? It was just one circular thing with like 30 shower
and guys
heads.
would
Yeah.
have to basically.
It's like jail.
You'd have to stare at a bunch of, and it wasn't even
In a
like,
circle.
Yeah, in a
Remember
circle.
American
Very
American History X,
Yeah.
where he
Ooh,
got
the rape
he
scene.
got butt
That was a
raped?
good one, huh?
That's-
Oh man, I
that's the
jacked
kinda-
off. Wait, what?
Brings back memories.
That's the kind of showers
Yeah.
that they had.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of showers and a wide open.
Now listen,
Dude,
here's the thing though, and I want to get this point across. I have no problem with a guy showering in the locker room. That's not what I'm talking about. I have no problem with a man changing.
Grabbing me by the hips and just having his way with
I knew
me.
it was coming.
Am I
knew-
right?
I knew I couldn't get through a sentence. But I have no problem with a guy changing. Like, that's fine. What I see, though, is with the old timers is they take their clothes off, keep their clothes off, and then talk to you.
Yes.
It's almost like they prefer their dick hanging out. And it's weirding me out because I'm trying to figure out. I know it's a culture thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out when it happened and when it stopped happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that have something to do
I,
with
I,
the wall?
Jeff.
I see that a lot at my gym too.
You're always in the showers naked.
That's right.
Talking to guys.
Right, right. And I'm just like, I let it all hang
I
on.
like to take pages out of Justin's books.
Yeah. Thanks, Justin. Thanks. No, but I was gonna say, I think part of it too could be almost like the dominance factor. A lot of older folk are like more. Look how comfortable I am. All these younger, more fit dudes. I'm gonna kind of.
That's a good.
You know what I mean?
It
Like,
is
I'm
very
gonna-
much a fuck it, I don't care thing.
like it's more of
With
a
old
confidence
people.
But they're
thing.
going out of their way. It's not like fucking.
No,
I
I don't
care.
think they're going.
But why would you keep your? Why not put a pair of shorts on? Right?
That's how they were brought up.
Right,
It
right, right.
was.
But at the same time, imagine the intimidation. Some guy that 25, 30-year-old dude
Would
who's
be ripped
fit,
out,
and
yeah.
then some dude that's talking with him that's a wrinkly old guy, like fully. It gives him almost the power. Like, look, I'm making you uncomfortable. I still have, even though you're physically
right.
strong, I still have.
It might be
mental-
something
It,
like that.
it does
dude.
exude like a confidence, and I'm very comfortable with myself.
Justin's got a
thing.
boner right now.
Dude, I.
Yeah, are you,
What are they?
you
What
jacked
are
on
they-
it?
tapping on the
Listen,
table.
What? Yeah, the tapping's coming from below the
Is he,
table
is
now.
he
This
still in the
weird.
shot, or is he
Dude,
drifting like a
What-
glacier?
all right. I don't. First of all, I don't agree with this theory because what are they trying to intimidate with their long ass droopy balls? Because their balls.
No, it's what he said. It's the mental aspect of even with my droopy balls. Look how much confidence I
I'm
have.
making you uncomfortable. I'm
Yeah.
putting you in an uncomfortable.
I wouldn't
position.
say if they're older, especially if they're older, they're not trying to flaunt anything
Probably
or get
not,
any
yeah.
attention. I honestly think they are just so damn comfortable because that's how they were
Yeah.
brought up in high school.
Yeah.
Like
It's super
when
uncomfortable
I
for me.
when I got to high school,
You know what I mean? Like,
it was only like I think like the football team that did it.
yep, that happened to me in high school too.
But in soccer we never did it. Everyone we finished the game and it was go home and shower.
right, man.
I don't know if it's just the sport or if it's but right at that time it started to slowly turn to not doing it at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, it's just like our generation. I just personally get uncomfortable seeing men's dicks.
So you do,
I mean,
do you
it's simple
guys
as that,
if you
right?
guys go in the sauna at the gym, are there naked people?
Never.
Okay.
No, I've seen some nudies
You have?
Yeah,
in the
so-
sauna. Yeah,
Are they
Our-
older men?
older dudes.
See what I'm
Our,
saying?
Yeah.
our mutual friend also he goes into the sauna all the time and he's a part of it. Not a part of it, but like it sounds like an orgy.
the,
But,
the sauna club.
I just,
but
I
he goes just like they
Midsummer?
do naked
Sauna?
because that's how they grew up.
Now,
with.
see, here's the thing. I personally don't have a problem being naked in front of people. I don't. I do it more like out of courtesy, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm also sitting on a bench, so it's like there's double courtesy there.
Yeah.
Like I go in with my boxer
Your
briefs,
balls just
but I'm
resting
one of,
on a bench.
I'm one of the few. Yeah, I know, right? I'm one of the few though that goes in there with just boxer briefs. A lot of people go in there with their full clothes on, which is nuts. But I'll go in there with my boxer briefs or even a pair of shorts and just chill. I just could never think like I'm gonna sit here naked and talk to somebody with my dick out, bro. It's just mad weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
that would always be in the especially like a comedian. If you're into making jokes, that's what you're gonna think of when
Yeah.
you're in the sauna with all these naked people.
fucking yeah. So I was just
Oh,
wondering if
man.
any of you guys had like insights to where it changed because I think that's interesting. Like there was a change, a shift somewhere in an age group where
Yeah.
it was like, you know what I mean? I'm wondering.
I
what,
would say it was like the early 2000s.
you
It,
think-
it shifted.
yeah, and I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think about. Like, did something happen with like coming out with like molestation, and now it's like you gotta
Maybe.
we don't trust our kids being naked. I
It's-
don't know.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're right. You're
It's
onto
tough to
something
determine.
because a lot of weird shit has happened, like in locker rooms, like that fucking coach.
Oh man,
What's his name?
Sandusky.
That was, a lot.
That
of,
was rough.
And a big,
He
and a-
called it horseplay, is what he
right,
called
yeah,
it.
like horseplay in the locker room with the boys.
Yeah.
And it was
Slip
like,
and slide.
Yeah, and it was this big open
He was
shower
sucking dicks.
room.
He was jerking kids off. He was sticking fingers in their ass.
And then
I mean, it was awful.
occasionally he'd coach football.
And he was-
and whatever time was left over, he would coach football.
And we're talking about and this happens a lot, and has happened a lot, especially in the church, where these people are well respected too, and other people would know what was going on and turn the other cheek. That's what fucks me up. Is like, all right, I can't understand.
Do something at least in private.
Bro, I could
Report
never.
it.
If I ever knew that was going on, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like
Yeah.
I'd be a fucking mess. But
People are scared to lose what they have gotten to in life. Like, say, Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno, before he died, got so much shit. He was the coach of Penn State, so Sandusky was under his employment
for
kinda.
years and
Yep.
years.
And they allege Paterno
Knew
because, like, you must. You're in charge of things, and you've been close to this guy for so long. How do you not know? Fortunately for him, he died. He was old, and he died.
I honestly think he died because all that stress too. Because it was
Maybe.
like right on
Oh,
that
absolutely.
happened.
Yeah.
He just was. He was old, but he just ended up dropping dead right when he was getting all that
Yep.
grief.
It happened like fast after that happened.
It's like I just can't. If I even thought, no matter where I am in the world, what I'm doing, what job I have, if I even think that there's something like that's going on, I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Hell no.
I don't
It's
care
crazy.
what power. Like even if I was in this position of power, I didn't want to say anything. Let's say I was a big pussy, didn't want to like lose my position. I still wouldn't be able to sleep at night, knowing there's children out here getting fucked with. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy, and it happens still to this day.
And it wasn't just that. It was with the church. It went unreported, like even
Decades,
more.
man.
And it happened so much more than in fucking
Oh, the
whatever
the-
Sandusky was
The
involved
Catholic
in.
Church, like not a year or
Yeah.
two goes by without some massive scandal in a different
Yep.
state or a different country where they
Still,
were.
Yeah.
and you would think the priest by now, knowing like it's all on the surface now.
It's obviously being watched better.
like, dude,
But,
and that.
and then because of statute of limitations, they would be so whoever got molested would be so late to reporting it or just mentioning to anyone that the statute of limitations would be like, oh well, if you had said you were raped 10 years ago, we could have helped you.
I needed a therapist to let me
Yeah.
know because it was fucking buried in my mind. You asshole.
Well, that happened in Fall River. It was famous. He was like the head of the school.
Father Porter.
Father
I
Porter.
think.
Well,
one of them.
this is how widespread the molestation problem is in the Catholic Church. I was actually talking about another rapist priest in
Fall River.
in Fall River, like in the same
this
small
one
city.
city.
Father K, who was he was in charge of the Saint Stanislavski school,
Stands, yeah.
Saint Stans.
Say Stanislaus? Did he just say?
It's
what I think he said?
Stanislavski.
You know
For the
what?
record, folks, it's Saint Stanislaus.
Stanislavski.
You know what? They're a bunch of child molesters anyway. They don't even
You
deserve.
can't just add Lawskis to the end of words that you don't know.
What's he,
It was a
Polish?
Jewish Catholic Polish.
It's Saint Stanislas.
It was a Polish.
Saint Santa Claus.
Anyway, Father K
Yeah.
was in charge of the Saint Stans, we'll call it, and so what happened was a bunch of people later in life, was male and female, came out and said, "Hey, this guy molested me," and I know for a fact that that's true. Tap tap.
I was
But,
trying to fucking. I was trying to ignore it.
Because a friend of mine, his dad went to that school, and Father K is so old that Father K stole this guy's girlfriend. The thing is, his girlfriend was like 14 at the time, and Father K was in his, 25 or
Wait,
something.
time out. Father K was in his 20s, stole the 14-year-old.
Stole like a
How?
14-year-old.
You guys keep talking.
Like,
Jeff, any interesting comments, bring them up.
Will do.
Father K's
None
on the
so far.
line, and he wants to rebut these claims here. No, he's dead now, but yeah. So
Wow.
he was a priest there forever, and my friend's father went there when he was like 14, 15, had a little girlfriend same age, and Father K like stole her from him.
How'd he steal her,
And
though? Stop fucking her?
Just like yeah, he just
Oh.
took her and was like, well, you're my chick now. I can drive. This other 14-year-old loser you're dating can't.
All right, I got you.
But in those days, if you were 25 and you were dating a 14 or 15-year-old, it was like, oh, good for that young
really?
young lass. Like she's got a
I
responsible
knew that
guy.
happened
with
in
a-
medieval times, but not like
no,
that.
Yeah.
even like in
Back-
the
like back then it was
50s, that was still
acceptable.
kind of like okay.
Wow.
Well,
I didn't know that.
I don't think it's okay, but like
It wasn't as
culturally,
accepted.
it was
It was
yeah.
more
like
accepted.
right now. It's
I-
not even. Yeah.
I have discussed before my experience with actually speaking with a pedophile priest. Specifically, he was charged with something different, but long story short, I was working at a staffing agency, and I would occasionally interview people for just like clerical secretary type positions. And so I have this, like, he's probably like 60 something, if I had to guess, or maybe even close to 70. We're in a room together, just me and him. He seems like a very educated guy. His resume, awesome. Like clearly a candidate.
You're like, why is this guy here? What is
Yeah,
he
and I'm
need
like,
for?
why is he having so much trouble?
minor issue.
We have the part where you check off, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And it was marked off yes.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Under the yes, there's space, and you have to put what it is. Like, please explain here. He didn't put that
Oh.
because he was hoping I wouldn't
So you're thinking,
look at
maybe
it and question it.
Yeah, maybe pistol whip somebody once. You know what I mean?
Which,
what-
like, the job at the time, the person would say, like, make sure that convicted felony is checked no, and if it's checked yes and there's nothing there, you have to ask what they did. So I asked him, and he was like,
God damn it.
like, oh, well, yeah, it happened in 1994. It was possession of child pornography. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll be calling you.
We'll be in touch.
If you want to just
Yikes.
leave your number here, my secretary will get back to you.
You can take your coffee.
And he was like,
sir.
I thought you were the secretary. Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, we'll take your coffee. Yeah. That's
So
that's
it was
rough.
weird.
And then what do you
I was
seem like
kind
to
of
you?
inside. I was like excited and nervous. One, I was just like, oh, I can't fucking wait to hear this.
Yeah.
And then once I heard it, I was like, oh,
Oh man.
man, that sucks.
How do you seem
He
like
did
a
it. He wasn't
gentleman?
convicted of actually raping anyone.
No, he just had kiddie porn.
He seemed like a nice old guy.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a story that I think I must have mentally blocked out because it's so horrible. But I worked at this awful job. I came back from traveling, and my friend I was looking for a job because I was unemployed at the time. And my buddy Jake was like, "Dude, come work with me. I am a salesperson for Comcast. I go door to door, and I sell cable, which was the worst fucking job you can imagine." But there was this guy who he was in charge of payroll, and I forget his real name, but we would call him Milhouse because he looked like Milhouse from The Simpsons.
He had blue hair.
He had like real thick glasses. He was heavy set. He couldn't grow any facial hair, and my friend and I would always joke that he had the classic child molester look, pasty, pale, heavy
Yeah.
set, couldn't grow like a single.
Almost a little feminine in a way, right?
A little
Yeah.
effeminate, yeah. And we would always joke. And then one day, months after I quit, my buddy sends me a message on Facebook, and he goes, "This is not going to surprise you at all." And it was that guy. And are you guys familiar with the dark web?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Unfortunately,
Joe and I
yeah.
have.
There was just one time in my life where I was like, what the fuck is this?
We watched the same video separately, but we watched the same video. It was explaining what the dark web is and basically like the top 10 worst things on the dark web.
Yeah, and there's
Holy
a lot.
shit.
There's a lot of terrible
Yeah.
things on the dark web.
He
changed my life. But go ahead.
He was a member of a website on the dark web, and this makes me believe like everything you hear about the dark web is actually real, because if this is real and it's been confirmed by the FBI, then like anything can be real. This is so evil. But what this guy would do is he would kind of date like poor things, like single moms that were kind of in rough shape, and with always, here's the catch, always with young like 1-2-year-olds, and he'd be like, "Oh, I can watch the kid. You go out." And this, I'm like, should I even tell this story at this point? It's so fucking awful.
Yes, you should.
All right.
Just the look on Scotty's face.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
I see him
It's
like
fucked
getting
up, but
heated.
people need to know shit like this.
Yeah, so this guy would be like, "Oh, I'll watch the kid go out." But really, this sick fuck was part of this club on the dark web where to like gain access, you had to make your own child pornography, like homemade, just to get into the website. And then to get like a higher ranking on the site, that depended on how much pain you could inflict like on the victim. But so like the FBI got involved, and like they were monitoring these sites, and they arrested everyone involved on the plus side. But that just made me think like all the
Hold on. So he was what doing?
he was like molesting 1- and 2-year-olds and filming it, and
So he's one of the people that.
yeah,
Wow.
but that made me think like, oh my god, like this shit that you
I
hear
know.
about the dark web is actually real.
fucked
I've
up.
never actually watched anything too graphic on the dark web.
No, but-
I've read about it, and the shit that's there was one guy. I think he was Australian.
Ooh, I know all about
Yeah,
Peter something.
Forgot his name.
He's
But
in the Philippines.
He did such terrible shit, and all I did was read the police report and like the cops got him. They detained him, and then he was interviewed. And the shit he did was terrible, and it was to like very young people.
Yeah, we are gonna have
And
to.
somebody like that needs to die of torture or something.
Let the koalas
What's
get
up?
him.
Justin's
I'm-
heading
I'm-
towards the fucking
I'm
wall
sorry,
again.
I drifted
didn't wanna
away.
I don't know
interrupt-
what
I didn't
it-
want to interrupt the conversation because you guys are going
always.
there.
What's
I'm
up?
not even consciously.
I just didn't want to interrupt your conversation.
Not bad.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you had something to say.
No.
I'm not even consciously moving.
It's
so
he
weird.
slowly drifts. I was actually about to go like that, but it would have drew
I think
attention.
the floor is slanted to the right down here.
We have to. I want to just because it can get wicked morbid and dark. But the fact is, the dark web. You and I watched the same video. It wasn't video of awful things. It was videos like the top 10 things that happened.
Yeah, about it.
And
So
I almost couldn't sleep,
Stuff
bro.
that I hadn't even fathomed could happen in this world.
yeah.
But like, there's people that are that fucked in the head.
Yeah, this world, we need a Thanos to come here and wipe out half the population and restart.
I think it's good though to know that exists.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good to watch it. It's not. Anytime I've seen like a bad video, I afterwards I don't feel good about it.
awful.
You feel like this exists. This exists in this world. This is fucking depressing.
It is good to know that it happens so you know shit is real,
Yeah.
but that's it.
But that's the only good thing. That's the only positive thing about it.
it-
It wakes you up a little. Like, here, there's some sick people
Yep.
out there all over the world, not just in this country, that
Yeah.
do crazy shit.
And-
Because this didn't happen around here. It happened
It was in the
like
Philippines, I believe.
Philippines, yeah. And
And
he's Australian, I think.
Peter something was his name.
Yeah.
What a mother. Peter Scully.
Peter
that was
Scully.
his name.
Insane.
In fucking insane. And his hatred for children was absurd. But
Well,
anyway.
I can get behind that, but not the whole. They're not torturing now.
You know, it does bring me to a point. So a lot of our friends have babies, and a lot of them have newborns, and
and we can make a lot of money on the dark web.
we're just. Are you? It's tough for me. Let's just get away from that. But it's tough for me to. Like, I love a puppy. A puppy's adorable.
Yeah.
Send me snaps of puppies all day. There's something about the baby that I'm just like, I can't. I'm missing that. I'm just like, yeah, it's a baby.
You don't like them.
It's a baby.
Yeah.
I don't. I like it when they're like,
I think you have to be directly involved in
Yes.
that process.
yeah. But I like them like.
Or
it
even
sounds
even
so
if it's
bad,
blood.
but kids that are like my little nephews or whatever that are like 3 or 4. That's the good age. That's the age
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, this is cool. Look at these. The baby's just like, nah. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking just like
They cry. There's
Yeah.
nothing cuter than a puppy.
They're really-
Ryan's gonna
yeah.
kill me. Ryan just had a baby. Oh, he's
Or
gonna kill me.
anyone that had a baby wants to kill you now.
I've always had trouble with the baby. Even Wayne. Wayne's got the little girl.
I
Cora.
definitely can understand that when it's your own child, it has to be such a
Amazing.
trippy thing. Like, oh, like just fluids in an egg literally created this child in front of me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's made out of
Yeah.
your genetic makeup.
I know my boy Wayne, like I remember he was really, really, and this happens a lot, he was really not looking forward to having a baby. Like it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And he
Hopefully his baby mama is tuning in.
Well,
I know he
Wayne
was
was on
nervous.
here. Wayne was on here before. I haven't seen him pop.
He
up.
was, he was
yeah,
nervous.
he
No, he
signed
was
up.
nervous about it.
He signed up
Well,
immediately.
yeah, I think that's natural to
Yeah,
be
he was nervous
about
and he's
it.
like, dude, I don't know what to do, blah, blah. And he said as soon as he saw that kid, he was like,
Changed.
Like,
Yep.
And I've heard that many times. And that's fucking awesome. But
Yeah.
I don't have my own baby.
No.
So I'm just like, can this thing grow
yeah.
up quick?
You gotta
No.
feel it. You
Yeah.
gotta
It's
feel
fuck.
it.
You know what it is with babies?
If I had a baby, it would be the opposite. Like as soon as it's born, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's mine. I gotta take care of it.
Yeah, Scott can't stop vomiting. Get this man to the ER.
He has morning sickness.
Yeah, it's too much.
Now, you know what? Babies and children, I mean, it's a lot like puppies because people get puppies and they're like, oh, a puppy.
Look at all the puppies on Scott's
That's-
shirt.
yeah, they're so cute.
Adorable.
And yeah,
Such a homo. I actually love this shirt.
That's a cool shirt.
It is pretty cool.
but
Go ahead, I'm
if
sorry.
you
Is that tie-dye?
I don't know.
Looks a little tie-dye.
Amazon kid.
Nice.
All I'm saying.
Gotta get me a puppy shirt.
$19.99.
Don't you also have cats playing polo?
I do. I do have a shirt of cats playing polo. One of my favorite. Fucking
pussy
gangsta.
magnet.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh man.
But yeah, you were saying about
Yeah,
you want to kick babies?
No.
Or punt them? You want to punt them?
Go to my website, babykick.com on the dark web.
I'm gonna veer away from the dark web real quick.
All right.
Have you guys ever seen? I was curious. I watch Joe Rogan all the time, as do you, and as do you. And there are so many episodes. I was like, I want to know what the hell episode 1 looks like. Have you ever watched episode 1 of the Joe Rogan
I was,
podcast. I looked at
yep.
it and was just like,
Horrendous.
fucking amateurs.
Yeah.
That was
at least our
way
episode
worse than
one was
this.
HD.
Yeah.
Well, that was the early days.
It was early though. Wasn't that before HD was even out on the internet?
It wasn't that. I honestly don't think it was that long
I can't
ago.
remember.
Like you had ways to get clear video.
Mm.
The video is choppy. There's these weird snowflake background things like while they're talking.
I
like,
remember that.
It-
That's what like when
the sound is fine,
right.
but it was just so good. It was just him and Red Band.
That's when podcasting was barely a thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was-
correct.
And you couldn't make money off of it, and it
Yeah.
was just people kind of goofing around.
Yeah.
It was before it really took off.
Joe was like the pioneer of it too, pretty
Yeah.
much, right? Wasn't he like the first?
It was-
I would like to look into that, but he
was
started
one of the
early.
first.
It was him. Adam Carolla was one of the
That's
first
right.
guys. One of the guys from I think it was Opie from Opie and Anthony
Yep.
Yep.
out of New York.
There was now. I just wanted to bring this up before I forget. So remember, I told you guys that early in the show I was on a date. Went on a date with girls. Actually, a lot of dates are just fucking nightmares. Just even if they're not awful, they're just like, ugh. This girl was cool as shit. But anyway, we were talking. She had gone out on a date with someone a week before, and it reminds me of something because I'm friends with a lot of girls who show me screenshots of guys that are just like, dude, I can't get this guy. It's
Like
turning
thirsty guys.
unbelievable, and it's like almost like they're emotionally like, remember how girls, we used to say like girls are the ones that are just way too emotional, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. I don't know if it's this age group or what's going on, but
This
guys
guy's
in their
that,
20s,
yeah.
it seems like almost all of them. So she had told me about, she went on one date with the guy, and she was like, he was cool, it was whatever, but the kid would not
I
like.
can see the screenshot.
I just want to read you what he wrote to her after one date. By the way, they met on Tinder.
One date.
One date, and this doesn't surprise
Do
me.
we know what the date was? Jeff,
Well, no,
jump
I was
in
saying
before we
for
read it.
context. I just want to make so they went out on a date,
Joe-
and then he sent her this message after the date.
Yes,
Okay,
amongst
I see.
others, but this is after the date. He hits her up. She was like, "It was a nice date. Good night." Blah blah blah. He had actually asked her to go to his house, and she was just like, "Nah, I'm good." Now, this wasn't a disaster of a date, by the
I
way.
don't blame her. It's like a first date.
Of course not.
What the fuck do you
Unless
wanna
you're
hang
like
out?
super feeling it, whatever. She was like, "No." So it wasn't a disaster date, but it was like, I'm not really. There was a couple things that I'm not really into it. That's how it was. He texts her, and she's like, "Good night." So the next day, he texts her again. She gets back to him like a couple hours later.
Yeah.
Now he's blowing her up. This is one of his texts. Hey, now this kid's about mid-20s.
And you're allowed to read this, right?
Yeah, I'm allowed
Okay.
to read this, and I'm not saying any names.
Yes, we give him full permission.
I have his name, but it's from. She saved his name as blank Tinder. Solid move.
Nice.
Solid move.
Real smart.
I've done it. So he says this. Hey, I just wanted to ask. Are you like okay? Just a little curious why I haven't heard back from you.
This is this is the next day.
This is the next day, and by the way,
Oh, my
no,
God.
but she did text him back. This is just like in the morning. Hey, good morning. Hope you have a good day. She said thanks. Then he asked her something.
That's already too much.
Already, thank
Yeah.
you. But this happens, Justin, because I'm friends with a lot of girls who tell me this stuff, and it happens a lot with a lot of guys.
If they're younglings, they don't know any better.
But how fucking sick is this?
How old are we talking here?
Mid-20s,
Mid-20s.
about 25ish.
Yeah.
He says, regardless, dude, this is like
It's weird.
unbelievable.
Some people don't get it. They don't get that you have to, less is more.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and it's like, dude, you can tell right away, like if a girl's interested in you or not. You can tell if you just step back and look.
Yeah.
Is she? So all right. So he goes. Just wanted to ask, are you like okay? Just a little curious why I haven't heard back from you, and like after last night, are you still down to see where this goes? Because I have a problem not being able to read minds. But sometimes I feel. Thank you. I'm halfway through this, Joe. I feel vibes, but it's always better to just straight up ask where you stand. This is like they've been dating for months.
One date in.
One.
You
understand? And how
fucking
you-
psychopath.
How you feel about the situation? Because of course I like you and hope
Oh,
you feel the
you
same.
don't admit
But-
that.
And
Key
I don't
question,
know.
though. Had they...
You don't admit
Did
that
they
till the
meet?
third year.
Did they meet on the first date?
This is they met.
When did they meet?
They first date met.
Okay.
They hit each other up on Tinder.
So this is
First
strangers.
date, first time they met.
Go
They
on.
maybe had texted before. I don't know. Maybe it's just me knowing I'm going to be stuck working and it makes me feel some type of way. But I do what I got to do, and I'm just curious how you feel. That's all one text, which, by the way, one of many.
Oh,
There's more. I'm not
Man.
gonna.
This
I
past-
can
So,
read them.
did she respond
This-
at all?
She responded hours later. Was like, "Hey, busy day. I'm at work all day. Sorry."
Translation: Leave me alone, you psycho.
No shit.
And you should understand that.
You should understand right away if think about it. Like, put yourself in the person's shoes. If they don't get back to you a couple times for hours, they're fucking all set. Let them come to you.
They're done.
Stop it.
Yep.
And this kid went on. I mean, there's paragraphs more. Look at this.
Those are.
my God.
And that and I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, a
I
lot
want
of
to
girls.
meet this guy and like fight him.
A
Hey,
lot of-
stop being a pussy.
Isn't that like that's so embarrassing? And I've seen screenshots like this because you know how I used to put in posts. I'd be like, make a video of making fun of guys and stuff like with who send dick pics, but girls would send me screenshots like, look at this crazy dude like that I met once, and these guys are like emotional.
That's great podcast material, man.
Unbelievable.
Get more of
I'll
those.
get these every episode. I can.
And you
have
know
them.
what? We're gonna post the actual screenshot
Yeah. What's your name?
on the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll blank that out, don't we? No, but I did.
It
wanna-
says Jeff Tinder.
Wait. Well, first
Jeff
of all,
C.
no, that's too obvious. Just say J. Cosetta.
But I love you.
No, but that's a good
Are
point.
you like
though.
into me? Or?
Go on.
But no, there are a lot of guys out there.
Jeff's like, no, but I really liked her.
No,
and she didn't answer my text. And
I thought we hit it off. I thought it was great. No, but there are some guys that aren't like as socially, that are basically socially inept. They don't know. Like I've had back in the day, not saying I did it, but I've had girls come up to me like, when we used to work when we were like 16, 17, I had such a crush on you. I'm like, I never picked up on that. You know, I was young. I never picked up on the signals.
Thanks
I
for
think
telling me now.
Right, well, yeah, right, exactly. But no, but I think a lot of it is that certain guys or some guys that don't have as much experience with women or who might not date a whole lot can't read all those signals, and they just act like idiots. And
It's just crazy to me, though. It's like, it's crazy to me where it's like, this is beyond common sense.
yeah.
This is like, let's forget it's a girl. Like, let's say you're looking for a job, and you keep fucking hitting the manager up, and she won't. You know, it's like, dude, like get a hint. You know what I'm saying?
It's repulsive. Like the
Repulsive, yes.
more you cling and push yourself onto someone, the more they want to go like,
Yeah.
get away
Can we-
from me.
We'll get
100%.
right back to it.
Yep.
I just wanted to read a comment about the guys showering together.
Yeah.
Wayne said, "Go to prison. You won't have a problem being balls out around a bunch of dudes. Face your fears."
He's right. He's right. And that man did.
He's right.
do
I
some
will.
time.
I will go to prison.
He did some
He
time
he
in
did
Wyoming.
some time and some scary time.
We're not going to go into the details,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
man, he did some time in a place in Wyoming, and he told me, he said, dude, this is like a fucking country out here. He's like, don't get locked up out here because they make their own fucking rules, man. He was on the phone with me. I'll never
I
forget
think
one time.
the details are actually, you're like, we're not going to get into the details, but he went to prison. I think the details are even less incriminating because it was just like weed stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weed stuff, but
So
I don't
it's
want
like,
I don't
yeah.
put his business out.
Yeah, but that's less. That's
Oh, you're like, I'm
way
making it
less-
seem like
yeah.
you kill people?
I don't want to. Yeah,
Had to
I
do
don't want to
with-
say what he did, but he went to the prison. It's like,
Yeah.
well, he went for weed, so
Yeah.
what, like, say that.
Exactly. That is much worse than just saying straight.
Wait, what did I do wrong? I'm
No, you were
confused.
like, I don't want to
He was
say
like,
what
I don't
he
want
did,
to
but
say
he went
what
to the
for,
penitentiary.
because
It's-
it makes Wayne seem like he
well-
killed someone, or
Which he probably did. He's got tattoos on his hands and his neck. He looks like a psychopath.
just remember, you might have to see him again one day.
Yeah, you
Wayne,
know,
I love
Wayne.
you.
he did my
Coming
fucking
for ya.
He did my stairs, man. He's here all the time. Very careful. And who's behind that door? Number one is Wayne.
Funny story about
He's
Wayne.
got an ankle bracelet on. He can't leave his house.
Hey, he only had that on for 4 years, all right?
He'll get electrocuted if he tries to leave the front door.
We went to this is on the same topic of Wayne like beating people up. We went to watch stand up at the Tap House, and the headliner made fun of Wayne because he had tattoos or something.
And Wayne flipped the fuck out.
After the show was over, Wayne went up and was like, "Hey, I don't even know what he said. He was just like, just a heads up, you probably shouldn't fucking make fun of people that
I'll break
will
your
fuck you
fucking
up."
face.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I went fucking jail in Wyoming, kid.
Just a heads up. And the comedian, oh fuck, what was his last name? Was Haig.
It was Ben Haig.
Ben Haig.
Yeah.
Didn't he say sorry too?
And he was good. He
nice
killed
kid.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
then
think Wayne
just
was
like, "I'll
heckling
fucking
though.
kill you."
So
Yeah, Wayne was
if you heckle, you
Yeah.
open yourself up to
Not
you know
Wayne,
get,
kid. Not Wayne. Click,
Yeah.
click. There. I'll change your
click.
day.
Click, click. Does that mean the gun's empty?
Yeah, he emptied it already. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fake gun.
so Ben lucked out in that scenario. He didn't have any ammo left in the chamber.
And then Ben, I'm sure, left that fucking place so fast.
If you
The car of is crazy.
if you heckle, I'm sorry, you
No, you're right.
you open yourself up to getting roasted.
I mean,
That's just how it is.
This is probably Wayne's first comedy show. He didn't. I don't think he understand how comedy works.
It wasn't his first comedy
Wayne-
show. Wayne is just a heckler.
He's used to the joint, man. He's used to the penitentiary. if anyone messes with you, you're gonna just
We're
go
making
and,
Wayne out to be such a criminal. Wait, he technically is.
Yeah,
maybe
well,
a
yeah,
criminal.
He's an ex-con.
legally he's a criminal. No, we're not making him out to be
I hope
a,
he.
I
a
hope
criminal.
he's watching.
The state is making him out to be a criminal. His record is what makes him a criminal.
Oh shit! Hey, it's good to be back here, man.
Yeah,
This feels good.
Just
It
to
is.
follow up real quick, Jess also said, "Now it's not only guys in their mid-20s; guys in their 30s are still
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it's true. It's not just guys in 30,
There's
20s.
creeps everywhere.
Oh, you know what? Also, too, if you go older, because like there's guys now in their mid to late 40s and 50s that are like they've gone through their second divorce, they're newly single.
Aren't they the worst?
They're the fucking
I've heard.
creepiest
Oh,
and
yeah.
worse.
Because they're so hungry for a time they missed.
They say the grossest shit to women, like that they don't know.
Yep.
'Cause
Yeah.
I've got female friends like, look at this like older dude
Yeah.
in my DMs, and it's like, hey, I know we haven't met, but like I'd like to, put your cunt in my mouth, wear you like a scarf around my fucking face. It's like whoa, and like they don't
Yeah.
even know the guy, and they just
Yeah.
go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
They mistake it for confidence. They think like, I'm a confident dude. I'm gonna say whatever I want
Yeah.
and get it.
And that's where the dick pic thing comes in. It's
Yeah.
like the confidence goes and blocks your common sense of, dude,
rough,
I don't know
man.
how many times I've had to say this, but like, girls don't want to see dicks.
no, naturally they,
They
don't
don't.
want to see.
Not
a
even
dick
when you
pic.
have sex with them. In my experience, they
Not
shut-
even your own
They
girlfriend.
shut the lights off. And they call me a different name. It's a whole weird thing.
You and I have a mutual friend who told us a story about a guy at work describing this old guy at work was saying like, oh, where's this person been? Talking about this girl. Where's
Uh-huh.
she been? Oh, yeah, those legs are looking nice type of thing. And now this is
right.
like a 70-year-old guy that works with her.
A religious guy. Also.
Yeah, and so she heard this news by word of mouth, and it's just a little creepy. Like it gets creepier, obviously, when they get older. When you have a 70-year-old talking like that, you're kind of like,
Jesus.
yikes. Yeah. At 70, what the fuck do they care? They,
That's probably part of it.
that's part of it. But still, like
And
you're
then they go to
creeping
the
out a
gym,
young girl at work.
and they walk around with their dicks hanging out.
Yeah. And talk about it in the locker room to me.
And they powder their balls. Old guys are always powdering their balls too. I don't get that. Like that's another thing that went out of fashion.
Oh, was it the what's it called?
like talcum powder.
Talcum powder.
They're shooting the talcum powder up into
That's
their
right.
nuts.
It is. You know what? It is a good way to stay clean and dry, though.
I'll do
Right?
that for a run to avoid chafing.
Yeah. That,
Yeah,
Or-
but
or
what
like
if- what if-
biking.
What if you go to hook up with a girl and you have powdery balls?
Well, be sure to wash your balls before you.
yeah. Don't.
I
Put,
know,
don't,
but
don't
some-
put powder on your balls before you go get your ass licked.
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
sometimes the hookup sneaks up on you. You're out. You get a pair of fresh balls, freshly powdered, and like you don't know that you're gonna hook up that night.
No, see, you always know if I'm going out, the possibility of hooking up. You always got to think, where am I going tonight? What's the possibility that I could get my dick sucked? No talcum powder. If I'm going to the
What are
gym
the odds?
and then going home, I know it's talcum powder time.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I'm going to go out to eat, boom. You never know where that night's going to
Exactly.
lead.
You have
Somebody
to-
brings you drugs. Next thing you know, you're on someone's roof. Talcum powder everywhere.
You have to plan ahead, Justin.
Yeah, always think you're going to
May-
get laid every time you go out.
Well, maybe old women are into talcum powdered balls,
I don't think so.
and they give was it Werther's Original, the candy that old ladies always have? They give those Werther's Original BJs on the talcum powdered balls.
To be fully honest
to
with
be
you,
back.
I sort of miss Werther's Originals. I feel like they're nowhere to be found
You're
now.
just gonna find an old broad, man. They got a pocketbook full of
Would
Werther's
you
Originals.
like one of my Werthers?
And believe me, they'll give you a whirl job. They call them. that is a fact.
Well
yeah,
done.
maybe old people they like the powdery balls. They like that menthol smell. You
I
know?
don't know, man.
Mothballs?
Yeah. What is that? A colostomy bag? Hey, no problem, Gertrude. It's just another hole to me.
Talcum powder, Bengay, and Werther's Originals.
What else you got on your? Did you
Oh,
have a
I
whole-
got
did
so
you have a
many
whole
things.
page?
Some of the talking
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, I got several things.
Let's hit these things up.
That was the coronavirus. That's not that interesting. All I wanted to say about the coronavirus was there's so much shit that's come out of China in the past years, and it's simply from animals. Like,
Yep.
China,
Joe,
China,
they're people. Come on, don't refer to them
China
as.
deci-
I know they're Asian, but come on, they're
China
still human.
decides to eat animals, all kinds of animals, monkeys,
Rats.
birds, cats, dogs. There's even diseases here. For example, there's MERS, MERS. It's in the coronavirus family, but it comes from camels. How are people getting disease from camels? Like,
Eating.
Is it exposure? Are they eating it?
Fuck
Is it
'em?
exposure? But like,
be
they're
airborne.
I don't
so
know.
Zika, also out of China, mosquitoes.
Oof.
China gets Ebola. That comes from bats and pretty much any family of monkey.
They're cooking bats and eating bats.
Yep, and that's where the most recent coronavirus came from.
They think someone ate a
Coronavirus-
raw bat, right?
But coronavirus is like a family of all kinds of diseases.
Yikes.
So
Right,
like
right, it's-
MERS is one.
Yeah.
So, but it usually comes from like bats or a small mammal of some kind. But why does that only happen in China? Is it because they're eating
They're
them?
always eating more animals, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
I
you
don't
know-
know that culture at all.
So was it the Wuchan, the city?
It was Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
The
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Clan, I believe, is
I
responsible.
heard
The
it-
for this.
RZA,
I heard
the
it-
Jizza.
I heard it ain't nothing to fuck with.
Well, there was the virus originated in this market where they had like they were selling animals for food, and they were like bizarre animals that you wouldn't think that you would eat. Like they had bats. They were selling wolves to eat.
Yep.
They were selling like weird rodent rat type animals.
And that's
Yeah.
where the shit's coming from. dude.
Right.
If I had to guess, yeah.
That's the thing. If you if you take a bunch of random animals and you shove them together,
You're
and they're-
gonna get corona.
You're gonna get
Yep.
a weird. That's
Exactly.
always
Yeah.
Like,
that's always
so
how
now-
it works.
SARS is another one. By
I-
the way, all this in the coronavirus family, like SARS, it's all respiratory illness. So it's
Yeah.
all like lungs and you're breathing.
And
so
that's what
you're-
viral. So it.
And then it's viral, and you'll die pretty fast if your respiratory system's compromised.
Right.
I
It's
mean-
like pneumonia type
Yes.
symptoms.
Exactly.
I was gonna say I don't know much about coronavirus. I just know it pairs really well with Lyme disease.
Oh,
Very good. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Jeff
good.
is basically every fucking meme that was on like a day after
But-
Corona.
Did you
was-
rob that? Don't rob that. You give me
I read
credit.
it somewhere.
Don't do that.
I read it
No wonder it was good.
I read it in a book.
I was like, dude,
We
I was like,
need-
that's way too good for some guy, Jeff. I'm like, I'm impressed. He's reading fucking
Jeff's on a
memes.
roll right now. He's excited. He has a mic. I
Yeah,
can
I
see
finally
it in
have
his
a mic.
eyes.
I miss it. We miss
I'm
you.
I'm ready to jump
There's
on.
no, we can't have another sound person here, man.
And then H1N1, which was swine flu. That's pigs.
That was that
they're
coming?
they're fucking one of every animal. They're like
Yeah.
Noah's Ark almost, but in a weird perverted way.
Yeah, but then fucking people come over and bring it to the United States from China. It's like, keep your shit over there.
Yeah.
They should legit be, even if there's Americans over there, they should be like, you got to stay here for
Until-
now until
No.
you're positive.
There were Americans, and
They shipped some over.
The U.S. embassy evacuated them, which I think is a bad move because now they're back
Gonna
here.
bring him here.
I
Yeah.
think they tested
They
them.
tested him though. Yeah.
I don't know how good
I
those
know,
tests are.
I don't know much about I don't watch the news a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I only learned about the coronavirus like 6 hours ago. Yeah, I swear to God. I was like, I need to look up topics, and I'm like, so what's this corona?
I
thing
thought it
about?
was corona related, and not as a dumb person comment, but
Yeah.
like, since when do you hear a disease called the coronavirus?
I do think anywhere they're moving right now, anytime you go on any kind of plane, they do that like a test. You know what I mean? Like a quarantine test. Like,
Yeah.
oh nope, you got fucking
it's like an I Am Legend.
yeah,
They scan your eyeballs.
yeah, a little retina test.
I really heard it may have originated from eating undercooked bat.
Yep.
Bat
I heard
soup.
that.
Bat soup.
Yikes.
Guano.
Then there was articles saying it's not from bat soup, and it could be, what was it? Snakes. They're not sure if it's coming from bats or snakes, but regardless, the fuck are
Stop
you eating bats and
every
snakes?
fucking animal that slithers by you, Chinese people. Come on.
Very
Crazy,
strange.
man.
Very strange.
But yeah. What else do I have here? I meant to ask you guys. I know this is a random question, but has anyone here been on a blind date? Blinds, not knowing what the person looks like.
No, but I would love to do that.
Yeah, it
W-
seems like
would
it'd be
you
fun.
really?
Yeah, just for the story.
For
You
the
know what I mean?
experience.
okay.
Strictly,
But
yeah,
strictly
strictly
the
for the
story.
experience.
Okay.
And I mean, who knows? It's literally like crazy because
You don't know.
no. And the minute you see him,
Number
you're like,
one is, okay, is this person aesthetically pleasing on the eyes?
on the eye. Yeah,
And what if they're not? Then you're like,
kind of ruins everything if you're not attracted to him, right?
yeah, you have to be physically attracted.
You
At
can
le-
still
at
have a
least
good
little.
time, but it's like I'm still
Well,
wasting
that's
time.
why speed dating is very interesting.
I
Yeah.
always see it, but never did it.
Yeah.
I
Yep,
think
same.
it's like a minute or 2 minutes. and
So
it's a-
fast.
And there's a place. Actually, it's funny. I was reading about it today. There's a place in Providence that does it.
God, we should totally do
They
that.
did
for
it
the
in
fo-
40-Year-Old
yeah,
Virgin.
Yeah,
We should do it for the show.
we
That'd
should
be funny.
do it for the show. Like
But
we should
it-
do it one day.
Speed dating?
Yes,
it's
just
like-
for the fuck of it, dude.
It's like a minute or 2 minutes.
Yep.
And then there's a bunch of people there, and then there's a timer, and then you switch.
Next person.
Yeah.
And a lot of people bring questions just because it's so fast paced.
Yeah. How long did you say? 30 seconds?
No, I think it's like a minute or
Minute.
two.
Not too bad.
That'd be so cool just to be like just to say this is how it went, dude. I want this one girl came to my table. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And 40-year-old virgin, the virgin is talking to a chick, and her boob accidentally falls out as she
And
talks.
that-
And he's like,
That's Diamond Dallas Page's wife.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No shit. She's got
Fun
awesome
fact.
boobs, man.
"You're the only person I think that would know that."
Yeah, but no, I did want to say it's funny that you guys brought that up because you guys said aesthetically pleasing. It reminds me of a conversation I had with my cousin and his wife years ago. They've met through a mutual friend, and they were Facebook friends first, and they were talking on Facebook. And I was trying to explain to his wife now, but it was his girlfriend at the time, the difference between kind of guys and girls and what they look for. And I said, to my cousin, I said, "What do you look for?" He goes, "I want to see what she looked like, wearing a bikini, just like all the aesthetics of her."
Yeah.
And she said, "I wanted to see like who his friends were and what he was interested in." So I just find that's kind of interesting that guys
Women
are
are
more like,
smart, dude.
like where
They
girls
want
are
a
more like,
background
I want
check
to see what his
first.
personality.
Women
like.
are into that. Like,
Yeah,
don't get me
they care about looks too, though.
They do.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
they
don't
but I'm
get me
saying,
wrong.
I think
But
it's like
first-
the first impression.
But that's
Yeah.
top. But that's not. I'm telling you, it's not top of the list.
No,
to
you're
a
right.
lot of women.
You're right. At first it goes money, and then looks.
I'm not.
So-
some girls are absolutely like
Strike
that.
1 and 2 for
Yeah.
me.
And
I
then
do
also
notice though.
throw height in there, like money, height, looks. It's like some combination of those three.
There's a lot of. I'm telling you, looks, man, is not top of the list for a lot of women. They really want.
Money is the main thing.
I don't think so, man.
I
think a woman
think
just
so.
wants somebody to be fucking honest, and I think because so many men lack that, I think that's what they're looking for most is honesty, and they don't usually.
Yeah,
find
they want honesty. Like, all right.
honestly, how much money you make?
How invested in the stock
Honestly, how much
market?
do you make?
Yeah. Honestly, what's your 401k like? And do you have a pension? And will you not sign a prenup, please?
Oh man.
Dead
Well,
air.
that
dead,
was
yeah.
but that's the first time it's happened. It's been an hour and like 5 minutes.
It's been
All right,
It's about-
Dead
we're-
air, an hour and 5
Hour and
minutes in is
15.
pretty
What-
good.
hour 15.
By the way, there's a lot of dead air in Rogan's
Yeah.
where it'll just be like silence between the two. He won't let it stay that way, but
No, we kick ass, man.
Yeah.
I get a
be
topic. I got a topic that actually
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I saw today at the gym, and I was like, I gotta fucking talk about this.
Do it.
And hopefully this guy doesn't listen to the show. But the general topic is dudes hitting on girls at the gym. Scott, we go to the same gym, so I'm sure
I've
you've
hit on 0 girls,
Dude,
by the way, in
me
10
too.
years.
Me
Yeah.
too. Bring it up high.
Absolutely.
And I think that's
you
the
know
way.
it's because it's business.
Your dick is like, dude, go hit. Yeah.
No,
You're there
yes,
for business.
But, and yes, absolutely, that helps. But there are times between sets where I'm like, you look, and Joe, when I say some of these chicks, again, if they're working out downstairs,
They're
they got,
dressed like Wonder Woman.
dude. I
like
mean, like
Marvel
their
Comics.
vagina, you can almost see inside of it.
Yeah, no, you can literally see
Like,
some of their vaginas.
So it is hard, but it's the last place you hit on. A
No,
girl.
you don't talk to them because every fucking schmohawk is hitting on
Yeah,
them.
they're sitting there going.
You
"Every
just
guy's-
seem like just another
you're just
douchebag."
another dude, and because all the guys in the gym we go to are fucking ripped. We're like,
they grunt.
I don't
we
even.
get through, if you get through all these guys, me and Justin are
Dude,
here.
I look at my feet if there's a hot chick around. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. I pretend I'm the victim. Like, I know, don't gaze at me. But there
I'm trying
was,
to do squats over here, dude.
but
I thought they split it up at like General
They
Fitness.
do, but some of the girls that they want like a good workout, most of the ones that look like fucking awesome are downstairs.
good workout if you know what I fucking mean, bro. Like that's the attitude.
Yeah.
But there was an article that went viral recently, and it was the headphones we're wearing now. There was a chick who, young woman, who I'm a male feminist, that went to the gym and she was always getting hit on, and the girls were like, "What you got to do is you got to wear a pair of these big on-ear headphones, like we're wearing right now. That way, when a guy goes to hit on you, you go like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like I can't, my headphones, like I can't hear you." And this thread like blew up on Facebook. It went viral, and all these girls.
Okay. I still
all
think
these
a guy
girls were
would just be like, take them off.
No,
Like,
they still try, but
Okay.
like it works better than.
All right.
As an excuse, you can just point to your headphones and go like, "What? I got," and then you just walk
they
away.
feel stupid. Okay.
But apparently, this is a huge issue with women going to co-ed gyms. Is and it is, from my experience, it's dudes like in their mid-40s, and they're hitting on girls like that are
Like
way
dime pieces that
dude,
are 25. Yeah.
absolute tens that are like
Are you
25.
saying that happens at our gym? I haven't.
Happens a
okay,
lot, man.
I haven't seen it.
I saw this poor girl. She's in an absolute smoke show, and she was like,
I'm
this-
sure I've looked at her vagina before.
she's a regular there.
Yep.
But there was a fucking guy just following her, and he was like, 47 years old, dressed in like
Really?
dressed in like fucking Everlast, like baggy gray, like big beer.
So
gut.
you just spotted this happen.
Oh yeah, I saw her. I'm in between sets, so it's just entertainment for
Yep,
me.
yep.
And she was a nice girl, so she didn't want to say like, "Hey, get fucked."
Right.
This dude was following her from machine to machine to machine, trying to give her advice, like, "Hey, I could coach you," blah blah blah. And she's like, "Oh, I just like to do
I
my."
could be a personal trainer.
yeah.
You have to point this man out to
Oh,
me next time
I
see
definitely
you.
will.
How old is he?
He was probably like late 40s. But today I saw something that was spectacular.
All right.
There was a fucking guy. You know how there's a track upstairs?
Yeah, so you can run
Yeah,
around. It's
yeah.
basically like a bunch of treadmills and like a little stretching workout session, and there's a little track that goes.
Cool.
around.
It's 1/16 of a mile.
There you
Exactly.
go.
It's
not
a-
huge.
It's an oval track. You can
Yeah.
run around upstairs in a oval, right? And there's a class.
I know it.
There's a class, and there's a lot of attractive women in the class. There's like 17 women in the class, a couple of dudes, and part of it is they run around on
So
this
they
track.
come out the class. Part of their routine
Yeah.
is they'll like do a crazy workout, then quickly run right out the room,
And, okay.
around the track. And
Yeah,
then back in.
yeah. So there's a fucking guy, some absolute d-bag, who's like working out he's working out. He's stationary, like on the side of the track, like working out, like lifting weights and shit.
Which
And,
is like barely any weights up there because it's usually just cardio up
yeah,
there.
yeah. And as these girls run by him, he's like trying to hit on them. He's like, "Hey, yo, how long you been running for?" but like they're running, like
So like the last thing on their mind
Yeah.
is men. They're just like, I gotta get through this workout.
Right.
Yeah.
But like he's trying to start a conversation as they're literally running away from him.
Wow.
And
Is this
they're
guy
like, they're like,
our,
what?
Is he our age, younger?
He's probably like late 30s.
I can't
Gotcha.
believe that.
Like, hey,
How long you been running for?
yo, what's up with that class? Like, you getting a good workout? And the girls are like, what? Like, I guess. And they have to like circle back around. At which point he'd get him again, try to engage him in conversation.
I can't. That's crazy.
Yeah.
First of all, they're fucking running.
They're
so you can't-
running. Leave them the fuck
Don't
alone,
don't have a
dude.
class at General Fitness.
No.
Find a fucking studio or someone's house.
Get out of there. That's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, but if you're a
Man.
dude and you're listening,
Do you know what the class-
Don't hit on fucking women at the gym.
Do you know what the class was? Was it like yoga or something?
No.
It was like some like
Boot camp type shit.
Yeah, it was more
Yeah.
like a boot camp.
Yeah.
But every time the girls
I'm in
ran,
it. I'm in the class.
You from around here?
yeah, but every time they ran around, he would try to like spit game. But like they're running in circles, so it's like imagine trying to talk to someone that's running by you. Like, yeah,
Nice to
like-
meet you.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, we'll talk later. Hey, look at you. Look at the feet there. We'll talk when you come back around.
I was cringing. I was like just like my insides.
you
were
guys
kinda,
just, like-
scrunching up?
One time when you're both at the gym at the same time, just fucking film it. Film the experience.
Well, for me,
I don't go to
for me, it's-
go to the gym. I do my own thing. I don't. You know what I mean?
I don't see a lot of that shit, to be honest with you,
Gotcha.
man.
You're just kind of focused on your own thing.
And yeah, I've been going there for so long. I would say most of the people there are pretty cool. I really
Yeah.
would, because I've been there for so long now. I end up talking to the same guys I see all the time. Even like the big meatheads, for the most part, dude, they're actually like cool dudes. Like you could go up to them and be like, bro, like I'm trying to work on this part of my tricep, and they'll
What
be
can
like,
I do?
Oh,
Yeah.
they can't wait to tell you. But
some of them
exercises-
are,
yeah.
but some of them are cool. You know
Right.
what I mean? I think you only just see the shitheads, man. There's some cool people there.
No, there's
It's
a lot.
not a-
There's a lot of cool people there.
But there are times, Joe, where
You
I
though,
do
in,
think
in
if Joe was
Justin's,
there,
in Justin's defense, you get along with a lot more of those types than I do. I feel like I would be like Justin, be like, oh, this fucking douchebag.
there is a lot of
Now, most of the
You're more patient in that sense.
that for those.
You can tolerate more.
There's times when there are people that are doing things that I go, Joe would. I literally think
Joe
of you.
loses
I'm
mind.
like, Joe loses mind. Yeah, it is bad. I guess because I've been there for 10 years, I'm almost immune to it.
Yeah.
But dude, if you went there, I'm sure there was times you'd be like, there's just guys that will be at. You've seen this. Well, he'll be here. They'll be there. They have so much pre-workout and testosterone in them that they'll just yell to each other instead of
Yeah.
having a conversation.
What's up,
Yeah, you see them
dude?
Bruins, dude? Hey,
Oh
I'm
my
fucking
God.
crazy. No.
Go Sox! Go Sox! Go
Yeah.
Sox! Right?
I'm so immune to it now. But yeah, that happens.
They're
a
gonna
lot.
trade Mookie. I heard.
Oh, there was an incident that happened where I almost got into a fight.
at the gym
One time, yeah.
over what?
Oh yeah, talk about this. This is cool.
All right, so I'm doing legs, right? By the way, I'm normally always by myself, keep to myself. I don't really chat a lot. Lately, I kind of have been, but for the most part, I don't. Do my thing. I'm there. I'm doing legs. There's a guy that used to live in my condo association. He's a fucking dickhead. He's a dickhead that I never even knew him. And when years ago he lived in my condo, he stopped and was like, "Hey, what's going on? You live in that one? Check out what I did to my." You know what I mean? Like showing
Yeah.
me his place, what he did, and I'm just like, I don't even fucking know you, or nor do I care. Now this kid isn't like a ripped out douchebag. He's actually out of shape, kind of chubby. I actually hope somehow he fucking sees this because you're a cunt and you know you are. And I'm doing legs, and I get off the leg machine and I just walk away. And he goes, "You just gonna leave it like that?" I don't even know this guy really. Like I've never since then I had never talked to him. I don't even know if he remembered me. And I was like, "What's up?" Like not even mad. I was like, "What?" He's like, "You just gonna like leave the weights on there?" And he's by himself. He's not trying to prove nothing. You know what I mean to anybody. And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And he's like, "You know what I'm saying? I think you're supposed to when you're done." And then I just flipped out.
What do you now? Before you go on, what's the normal practice there? Like
Nothing. Like
you
nothing.
do your workout and leave it, and then if the person wants to adjust it in some way,
Correct.
they do. Okay.
Correct.
I actually disagree. I always
Hey,
rack my weights.
Was that guy Justin?
But listen, but listen
it
to
was me.
But listen to
Put
me.
your weights away, you lazy fuck.
But wait a minute. You go to a leg machine. You now
Yeah.
have to put those weights back on that I left. You know what I'm saying? It's like a.
I won't put on like a leg press.
I don't.
won't
I
put
don't
all
leave
of
them all there.
Yeah, not like a couple. You can
I
leave,
left like 3 plates.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
It.
I think that's all right.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't.
2 to
leaving-
3 plates is okay,
So-
but not like 6 on each side.
I immediately, for some reason, something just went up.
You flip.
I flipped the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like was screaming at him to the point where he actually walked away. And I was talking. I was like, I was talking all gangster shit. Like I'm gonna break your fucking jaw, blah blah,
Wow.
in front of everybody. And then I was just like, so like fucking. You know what I mean?
That's when
Amped
Scott
up.
was on the TRT. I bet.
I actually was on
yeah, see,
testosterone.
dude, I bet you that's what it was.
TRT.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that also is a good trigger. Like I feel like that
I was-
would bother me.
It
like,
was. I was bothered no matter what. I don't know, dude. It was bad. Like, dude, picture you're trying to just do your workout by yourself, and some guy's like, "Hey, fucking, you gonna rack your weights?" Get the fuck out of my face, bro. Like, I wigged out to the point where there was a guy at the other corner who later came up to me and was like, "Hey, you guys are right. I thought you were gonna kill that dude." And another kid walked by and was like, "I got your back, bro." That was the funniest part. But yeah, I flipped. I was ready to go blows with this kid over. I just don't like
overweight.
But I'm minding my business. Like that's one thing, you know what I mean? I'm not out there yelling, acting like
and
a
you
douchebag.
decided to be a dick.
You just for no reason. Like, what do you own this place, dude? I think he was just trying to test me, thinking, oh, I can just talk. And you know what? One of the things I said to him was I was in like a blackout flip out. I was like, you see that dude with the guy had tattoos on his head? You've seen this guy there? He has like tats on his like side of his head.
It's like every guy that goes there.
Well, this guy was like, look at Monster. I was like, tell him to rack his motherfucking weights right now. Tell him. You too scared? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
why you coming
wow.
to me? I flipped out. He actually walked away. Like, this kid's like, this kid's a nut.
because you like caused a scene. He's like, "Yikes,
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that one.
I was expecting us to have a little tussle. Like, yeah. But that was the only time I ever got upset there.
Scott took Will Smith's advice from the episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Ashley had a bully. And Will was like, just pretend you're crazy.
Yeah.
And just pretend you get a neck tweak
Yeah.
and just say,
Back off.
mind your business.
That's all.
Mind
Just-
your
no,
business.
Back off. Back off. Mind your business. That's all.
Just mind your business. That's actually what I did. I told myself, I was like, just pretend you're a nutcase. It's acting
Right,
class.
yeah.
And it worked. Kid walked away and everything. Like, was like, dude, he wasn't scared, but he was just like, I don't know what to do with this.
He was overwhelmed. by
Yeah.
it,
But
which
it's
is
like,
great.
yeah, man, fuck off. Like I said, I was just doing my leg workout.
you didn't
by
do anything
myself.
so disrespectful, or it was like,
Nice.
hey,
Yeah.
it's fucking disrespectful. Like he went up to you and
Yeah.
was like, what are you doing? As if you just like shit on the floor.
I was shocked, Joe. I was shocked. I was like, in my head, I'm like, why is he doing this? He must be trying to test me. He must think, I don't know, he must just want to start something.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's mad at his own life and was like, let me take it on this kid. He doesn't seem like, and I just flipped out on the fucking guy. And I'm like, I remember saying,
I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame it on the TRT
Nah.
immediately.
I think it just helped me, give me a little boost.
Give you a little boost.
If there was a fist fight, I would have blamed it on the TRT.
Yeah, but I would have won. and the guy with the face tattoos would have been like, you're right, man.
I think it helped that you knew you could kick his ass.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. He was just sloppy and fucking. He was wearing like, you remember those pants we used to wear? We were like 12, those swishy pants.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say he was wearing K-Swiss. If you said he was wearing K-Swiss sneakers,
baggy Adidas
I would've
pants.
just
He was
fallen
wearing
right
like
down.
Adidas ones, like
baggy
similar.
Adidas.
He was a fucking geek, dude. He's. I don't know his name, but if you know who it is and you're watching right now, I'll fuck you up again, bro.
Yeah.
I'll put my weights wherever I want.
I'm leaving those 3 plates on. I think I fucked my.
What'd you do, man?
I don't know, man. I got so flustered.
It was all this talk about Adidas pants. Joe was triggered.
It's fine.
You hey,
Guys.
did you check your scale yet? By the way,
Oh no.
you're trying to
haven't.
lose, right? Didn't you get up?
Yeah, hang on. I gotta fix these before I talk anymore.
right, hold on.
Fix them.
Joe,
I just gotta flip that one.
you're trying to lose weight, man? You getting?
No,
you
here's
getting,
the thing. Let me discuss here.
Joe's getting thick.
Yeah, like I always know when I'm at a heavier version of myself.
Thick boy.
Thick boy.
B-O-I.
And I had been eating pizza at Barrett's, fast food, eating terribly.
Mhm.
Okay?
Is this because you're in a relationship? So you're just like, you know what? I've locked the
But
girl down. I'm just gonna
To be
eat
honest,
like shit.
no, it's I
'Cause they
like
do it together,
I don't
though.
like to maintain
Yeah, that's
I don't
usually-
like to maintain a good shape. That has something to do with like it's like if you have a significant other and you're not letting yourself go like completely, it doesn't really matter. I do like to look decent, like if I'm going to a beach or something.
Yeah.
Like when
You
there's
always
nice
wanna look
weather.
good.
Oh,
Whether
yeah.
you have a girl
Yeah.
or not.
And it for the past like so many years, it's been like hardcore diet, hardcore run, whatever. Like right before a few months before summer. So I felt heavy. I got on the scale and I was 203.
Woo!
At my lightest, I'm 170.
Yeah.
So I've been like, for me, it's I
Four
need
Cs.
I need to see that number,
Yeah.
or I need to see a picture where I'm
A
like,
picture of the number,
a picture
yeah.
of yourself where you're like, I look disgusting.
Yeah, and it just,
I didn't see the picture because like it's weird. I wasn't as big as like in the past, but I was 203. Just the fact that,
That
I was
was
over
enough
two,
to-
I was just like,
yeah.
I have to get back to what I was doing, which you, Tori, and I were doing like slow carb or no carb. I was doing paleo for a while, and that's when I got down to like 170.
Right.
Now I'm just
Damn,
doing.
that's light, dude. 170.
Yeah, I
that's
was
thin.
like, it wasn't
It's good.
170 on
It's
the
good,
dot.
though.
It was like early 170s, which is crazy considering now I'm 2. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things where people are like, you don't look like
No.
you're 2.
When you told me you were 203, because remember you said, I'm about to go on a scale. What do you think it's going to be? I was like, I think 195. I was like,
Yeah, and you were close. I actually thought high 190s,
yeah.
but I'm gonna try to get down to. I'm doing like a no carb now, like absolutely no carb. You do what? Slow
Yeah,
carb.
that's where it's at. You
Yeah.
just cut out carbs and sugar, and the weight will just melt
Yeah,
off you.
and then
essentially.
run more. I play basketball, so
Yeah.
and it always ends up being shredding down to 180 something at the very
Perfect.
least. Yeah,
I'm at 180.
I saw,
yeah.
I saw myself at 170, and I was like, that's too small.
Too little.
I got to do like 180,
Yeah.
185.
180 is perfect. I'm at
Yeah.
180. I'm like, pff, dude. Because I did
You're at
well,
180. See, that's light.
but I did the
You're also not drinking.
and I'm not drinking, and I did the intermittent fasting for a month and a half. That helped me shred weight.
Yep.
It sucked, and I won't
I
do
tried
it
that
again.
a little. You notice the difference because, like, say you eat dinner at 6:30, you wake up and have breakfast at 10:30.
Yeah.
By the time you're having breakfast at 10:30, you're starving.
Starving. And you know what was happening to me? It was, and I'm lifting. So the problem with intermittent fasting and lifting, you're supposed to get in like a lot of protein, a lot of calories in that 8 hours. So I did lose weight, but I lost muscle too, and I was like, fuck. So now
It's not terrible.
it's not, but it's like shit. I'm hitting the weights, dude, and I
Yeah.
can watch my muscles shrink. I'm like, that sucks. So I stopped doing it, but it got me down to 180. So now I can stay at 180, and as long as I don't eat like dog
You're
shit.
at 180 flat.
180 in the morning, 180 flat. So like right now, I bet
in
you
the
I'm
morning.
182, 183,
Nice.
and I just want to fucking keep it. Like for the first time, like don't slip off, but it helps. Not drinking helps, not only because of the alcohol, but dude, there was I got McDonald's about a week or two ago, and I was like, holy shit, I haven't been here in forever.
Yeah.
I was there all the time, every weekend when I was drinking.
Damn.
I drink it. I'd eat
Same.
it at 2 in the morning, and then I'd eat the next day to make me feel better for my hangover.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was constantly.
Dude, I was like to get to 203. I know exactly why. I was going to
eating garbage.
Yeah, I was going to McDonald's. Like I love Big Macs. I love nuggets. Dude,
Who
it's-
doesn't?
It truly makes me happy when I'm at home just eating fast food and watching whatever the fuck's
At
on
least
TV.
at least Five Guys, for Christ's sake.
No,
Come
to be
on.
honest,
I prefer a
Five
fast food.
Five Guys gives me like indigestion. I need McDonald's
Some-
or Taco Bell or Wendy's.
Chick-fil-A.
Something about that gross ass food I
Not,
love.
like now, Justin is someone who is consistent with trying to stay
He's
in
good with
shape
it.
at all
I
times.
have more or less one cheat
Stop
day.
tapping on the.
I'm sorry.
You'll get it. You'll get
But
it.
but still, you're light as shit no matter what.
Yeah, you're lean,
Dude, I'm up to like 170 now.
and you
I'm a thickie, as they call me.
You always eat pretty well.
I eat clean 5 or 6 days a week.
Good for you.
No carbs, no sugar.
I know a guy related to my girlfriend. He's 130 something.
Jesus Christ.
And he's about
And-
what 5'7", 5'8", maybe.
He's close to our height.
Is he?
Yeah,
All
he's
right,
not.
all right.
He's close to our
Say
height.
he's 5'9".
But it's the genetics, and I look at that and I'm like, you motherfucker, you get to eat whatever he gets
Yeah.
to eat. That's the thing. He doesn't diet, and
honestly-
he doesn't work out that often. Like I know working out, especially cardio.
Just so you know, if that kid worked out, he would be shred. Not huge. I just
He's
mean
already shredded.
that's what I'm saying. Imagine how shredded he'd be if he fucking worked out. I mean, the kid
Exactly.
is just he'll eat whatever he wants, and the kid is just he's like the skeletal system.
Yeah, but what chick is like, I want a dude who's like 130 pounds,
No, you're right.
5'7". Oh,
You know what's a
yeah.
crazy
What
part?
are you like 160s?
Oh yeah, I'm like high 160s.
Gotcha.
I do notice that most women, even when I drop weight, are like, I prefer you bigger. Like most girls prefer weight on their men.
Well,
Most
that's the dad bod angle.
not even that too. Just like I know girls are just like, dude, I just like having a big guy.
Yeah.
That, not this, you know what I mean? Like I just like that. I don't like the thin look, but I always like I want that chisel. Like I want to look as chiseled as I can. You know what
Right.
I mean, that's like my
Yeah,
goal.
dudes want to just be shredded.
Dude, I don't care.
I think that's a normal
Yeah,
request.
and honestly, like what's good about it is I notice about myself is most, like I said, most women say I prefer you bigger, and I still like to be thin, which means I'm doing it for myself. Like I truly like to look a certain way, even if most of the women didn't like it. I want to keep a 180 thin, lean. That's where I want. You know what I'm saying?
You know, thick girls specifically,
Like skinny guys, right?
that does happen, especially in the crack and heroin community. For whatever reason, you always see like a big fat like junkie girl and like a scrawny junkie guy. I don't know why that is, but it is. But outside of that, like thick girls want a thick guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Maybe to feel.
I had a friend who told me recently. She's like, yeah, like I'm like bigger, so she goes to feel more effeminate. I want a guy that's like even bigger
Makes
than
sense.
me,
Makes
so I
sense.
feel kind of smothered almost.
Makes
Correct.
sense.
Yeah, that's accurate.
in liquid cheese.
And there is some little thin girls who want a big man too. I see it all the time. Everybody's that's the
There's
thing.
all different tastes.
You'll never,
and
yeah, you'll
whatever,
never. No matter how good looking you are or whatever, there's always gonna be some girls who are like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like guys have
Can
a
you give me their names and numbers?
right now.
I feel like dudes have a range. Like I'm into petite girls, and I'm also into girls that are like $185 thick in the
And-
right places.
yeah.
Like in
Oh,
everything.
I like that. An equal opportunity.
Yes,
employer.
and everything in between. Like I like a wide spectrum.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very wide
Respect,
spectrum.
respect.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm not trying to cut this short, but I have to pee really bad.
We've been on for a
Do we
while.
we've
wrap
been
it
up
up
forever
or
and
do
a
I
day.
go? Yeah.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Uh,
Joe's gonna take a shit, guys. I'm
No, it's not a
sorry,
shit.
everyone. He's gonna take an
at all these-
explosive
look at all
shit.
these liquids.
It's been a great episode. Fantastic. Feels great to be back. I love the new camera angle with me and Justin. Don't have to
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. And you know what? Next week we're gonna try to drag a guest on. We tried getting, believe it or not, we tried getting Kirby here.
Yeah, couldn't make it. Wanted to.
Couldn't make it. Well,
We
we got a few.
you know what?
We got a few backup guests where I think. No, I'm not gonna interrupt, but
no, because he's banging on the table.
I think there's people just like friends in the community who would be great on here,
For sure.
and I'd like to do rotating guests. Justin, you were gonna say something important.
Maya Mannion,
We
need Maya on, we
local
do.
killer
She-
comedian.
she'd be
She's a fan of the
tremendous.
show. She wants to come on.
All right.
I absolutely. You gotta
Done.
set it up.
I-
Talk to
I
this
can,
guy.
yeah.
Talk to the scheduling staff and agents.
man.
give me the date ahead of time, and I'll
Absolutely.
float it by. you.
We'll figure that
Let's get
out
her on next episode for sure.
next week. Yeah.
Whatever podcast, episode 51.
Episode 51. Thank you for joining
I
us.
hope you
You're
like
the
it.
best. God bless. R.I.P. Kobe.